I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. Amen. We are the church, that church that was in the wilderness, before the angel of Yah. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, and to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. Return, return, O Shulamite, return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will he see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of 2 armies. His bride was prepared before him in glory. The people that stood with him was his church, the body of the Hamashach. They are Christ, his people, Israel. Our villages were pillaged, our women ravaged, our children were sold for wine. It was he that would come for us. Nation was against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, I, ba, da, za, ka, ra, sha.
I'm live, baby. Give me some cream. Whip. Okay, baby. Yeah, whip. All praises to the Most High, He who sits high and looks low, reaches down and nourishes the earth and all the dwellings thereupon, with His rain, with His wind, with His pneuma, with His raka, His spirit, His waka kwadash, His Holy Spirit. We're thankful. Kal halal, Yahweh ben Hashem, Yahweh Shai. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you, Hamashiach, for life-giving breath, for salvation continually, for thy people Israel, who loves, who cries out in the hour of their need, in the hour of their humility. Hear us, O God. Hear us and attend our call. Have mercy upon us, Barakatah, and forgive us, Salake, Salak, those who are in transgression. Forgive, have mercy. Let thy grace be abundant. We pray, we praise you, we glorify you with our mighty praise. Halawa, 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 halawa. All praises be to the Most High. Allah Yah Awana. Praise God. Oh, have mercy. Yes, we are thankful. Well, I'm here today for a conclusion of a matter that's been going on for several weeks. We've seen at least 3 opportunities of these two guys discussing or trying to come up with a topic I don't believe even one of them want to debate myself. I ain't never seen so much, I don't want to call it piety, but just outright, just playing with words like they don't matter. Changing words like they don't already have a meaning. Getting caught up in actual, physical, living beings. Come on, man. What is this about? They say, well, Inky cost us. Inky couldn't have cost us. Inky is but one man. That's all he is. Why are we giving the power and authority to Inky? Whether he was naive or practicing naivete, or whether he was just being deceptive. Okay? We re-voted and they gave the victory to Jabari. Fine. But there's two other debaters out here that wants to debate Jabari. So if we can't get it with Tehuti, then let's go ahead and get it with Brother Reggie. Okay? Is Jabari Osaze worried about Reggie? Is Tehuti worried about Jabari? Or is Jabari worried about Tehuti? I ain't never seen so much mess, man, in all my life. And let me say this here, because I hope he takes a stand. I hope he shows up. This call out is to none other than Morpheus, who comes up here trying to play me short, thinking I'm going to fall for the okadoke because of the King James writings, where a verse may say, as it was written, Jesus said so and so and so and so. Nigga, you think I'm that foolish? Excuse me for calling you that. I don't want to mess up this show. But Negro, do you think I'm that foolish? That I don't know the scripture exists in at least two places in the New Testament where it contributes a testimony to Christ that's not found in the Old Testament? But the Old Testament ain't the only books, Morpheus. The Hamashiach quoted from Enoch. But there's no book of Enoch in the Bible. But there's a book of Enoch. See? But you come up here playing games, I can show you where Jesus lied. He's a liar. No, the Bible says the scribes are liars. The scribes are liars. That's what the Bible says. In fact, in spite of the fact that the scribes translated the text, or the scriptures. They translated the scriptures. Did they add some things? Yes. Did they take some things out? Yes. Did they deliberately massacre or attempt to massacre God's word? Yes, they did. But God still protect his word. There's millions like me who know it. I'm not the only one. If I was the only one that professed to know the word of God, then perhaps you would have something. But there's some know it better than I. But I know it good enough to deal with you, Morpheus. You ain't ready for this. I can tell by your Mark chapter 1, when you lied and you said Mark made a boo-boo. Mark didn't make a boo-boo. It's quoted in the prophets. You thought it wasn't there. You thought it was just in Malachi. Because you're ignorant like that of the scriptures, man. You are ignorant of the scriptures. So as soon as I showed it to you, and still got to take on deck to prove it, anytime I'm ready, downloaded it. As soon as I started reading from Isaiah, you changed your tune. You changed your tone. It went from Mark made a boo-boo to they parsed it together. One said one part and the other one said the other part, but they didn't say the same thing. All the tiny weave we wear when we seek to deceive. Brother, but when you was thinking of that scripture, I was miles ahead of you. Just like when you came to me and said, I can show you in the Bible where Jesus lied. Nigga, if it got up and slapped you, Negro, excuse me, if it got up and slapped you in your face, you wouldn't recognize it. Because you ain't got time for it. I'm going to give you time to go on the internet and pay for a fake diploma saying that you got the time, brother. But I know you don't have it. I know you don't have it. I can listen to you and tell you don't have it. And the spirit of Hamashiach told me you didn't have it, that you were a liar. That's a liar. Somebody that professed to have something that don't have it. That's a liar. And that's what you are, Morpheus, a liar. Come on the channel and defend yourself. Okay? Now, I ain't got a lot to say about Reggie now. I like to say a little more about Tehuti because I understand where Tehuti's coming from. Tehuti is saying that the nectars are true living beings, that at one time they lived physically, but today they still live spiritually. I understand that. And I don't know what's so hard about Jabari that he can't get that and he can't debate that subject if he believed that they were not literal. Stop playing with words. You don't need literal in the subject matter, in the topic, when you're saying that they were living beings. See, I know Christ was a living being that was born as a baby, had a body prepared for him. He was born as a baby. He lived. He walked the earth. He taught. He fed the living word to many. Was crucified on a Roman cross buried in the tomb, a borrowed tomb, because he didn't need a permanent tomb, because the Bible says that his body would not see decay. He resurrected, walked the earth for 40 days after he resurrected in his perfect body, and then ascend on high, and now sits at the right hand of the Father. I understand exactly what Tehuti is saying. I don't understand why you don't understand. When you say you used to be a Catholic, because that's what the Catholic believes. In fact, they believe more than that. They believe in communion, that we are receiving his actual body. They believe when we drink the wine, we are drinking his real blood that is transformed in prayer. What you believe as a Catholic, Jabari, they pray to Mary because they believe she hears their prayers. They believe she was a living being who died and is still living spiritually in that realm with her son. That's what they teach. That's what they believe. They call her the Queen of Heaven, do they not? All right, but they still believe it. It don't stop them from believing it. In fact, it don't even stop them from sinning, because they feel as long as they don't sin on Sunday, they can be redeemed every week when they go to church on Sunday, because they confess to the fathers, Holy Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Do they not? Holy Mary, full of grace, come to us in the hour of our need. Do they not? Oh, Holy Catholic Church, do they not pray to the church? Do they not pray to Mary? Maram. Maram. Do they not pray to the so-called Mother of God? Come on, Jabari. Let's debate it. Are the nectar true living beings? They bury them in a sepulcher when they die. A sepulcher is a flesh eater. In Egyptology, a flesh eater What is the sculpture, the sepulcher? We just had Sinetta join this panel, y'all. Let's see what Sinetta got to say. Go ahead, Sinetta.
No, I really don't have nothing to say. I just came in to put the link in the chat for you. I mean, you're doing great. You're doing great.
I mean, you can put it in, but I know how to do that. But if you want to put it in, you can put it in.
Yeah, I already did.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going on.
Deshaun Pickett, 3751, whatever. Apostle, please stop. Stop what? Telling the truth. Is the truth hurting your ears? Are you annoyed behind the truth? Huh? What's wrong with you? Your spirit don't agree. The truth got you that wrapped up. Huh? Let me make sure that's you. Okay, Rob. How you doing this morning, man?
All right. Sir.
I think he left.
That's me.
Yeah, Sai left.
Oh, I just wanted him to know I'd apologize to him, and me and the other guy's situation is what it is, but I apologize for cussing on the panel because the panel is where it happens. So that's my fault. And I know next time, personal issues, leave it off the panel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good looking out, man.
Yeah.
Recognizing that you made a mistake, you didn't really mean it.
No.
That happens, you know. We get caught up in the moment. Yeah. So, whoever that was to say, I don't know, you don't know what I know any more than I know what you know.
Yep.
You know, only thing you're doing is just wasting words, man. You don't know me. Morpheus is invited. Why not invite Morpheus? He's already invited. You didn't hear me? Imhotep, Homo, whatever you didn't hear me invite him? But it don't matter. He got the link. He can click it just like Rod did. Rod.
Yeah.
Did I invite you?
No, I just clicked the link.
You just clicked the link, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's all you got to do. Even you, brother, click the link. I imagine you was a brother. Click the link if you got something to say. All you cats, man, stay in the back, writing in the chat, man. You know, waste of words. Waste of words. Because nothing you can say can edify or add to the conversation. You're a bunch of chitlins. I think Apostle's afraid of Morpheus. Now, I'm more clever than Morpheus. That's the problem. I'm more clever than Morpheus. That's why when he said he wanted to debate me on whether Jesus told a lie, I was days ahead of it. What do you think? I'm going to fall for something like that? Huh? You think I'll fall for that? So what's up, Rob?
I'm looking for something right now. I'm going to share with you. Give me a second. It's something that was found in Israel, 2,600-year-old. They said it would be older than any book. I want to see if it's pseudo or not. I'm looking it up, and then I want you to check it out and let me know.
All right.
Let me look it up. Give me a second. Old Testament scripture. Testament scripture. Script.
Why are you looking for that, man? What do you think of the debate? You think they want a debate?
Who would that be? Morpheus? Who was the? Let me see. What did you? I didn't even read.
Tehuti versus Jabari.
That's the one. No, I picked Reggie. I picked Reggie versus Jabari. I don't know what the stats came. Maybe it was Tehuti. It's Tehuti.
I don't know. It seemed like him and Tehuti can't agree on a topic.
Yeah, see, and that's the problem.
Reggie's accepting
Yep.
Jabari's topic of literal, rather the nutters are literal now. Tehuti has a problem with the word literal because literal refers to literature.
Okay, literature. Okay, what about living flesh, blood and flesh beings? Are they saying they were living flesh, blood and flesh beings?
Yes, that's what Tehuti is saying.
And does Jabari have a problem with that title?
Say what now?
Would Jabari have a problem with that title?
Evidently, he didn't accept it. He said that Tehuti was playing games like Inky.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that don't make sense, Apostle.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a clear statement for everybody. There's no ends or no. Well, it could be this. It could no. Are the Neteru living flesh and blood beings?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Beings that humans on Earth can interact, grab, touch. They can grab and touch them, and it can be a physical contact, not a spiritual contact.
Well, they're spiritual now because they're not living. They're dead.
Oh,
they've gone to the other realm.
The original, I think personally, the original Neteru would be imaginative humans' calculations of divinely thought from its own spiritual connection with that which gives it the thought.
So you don't believe they physically lived then?
No, because I have them with a half count, all them heads and.
That can be symbolism.
That's
simple as that.
Agree.
They can live.
Yeah.
Without that part being true.
Okay, so then I would agree that it's possible because nobody knows the creator's ability of creation. Nobody, I don't think. The ability of the creator to create is far beyond mere mortals' understand. Like a charge, if you had a battery that's 10 volt with a 1,000-volt battery, that 1,000-volt battery would blow that 10-volt battery up. It can't hold a charge. I can't hold a charge of God.
Yeah, black male, step into the light. I can't see you. Cut a light on or something. I can't see your face. Can you turn a light on? Do you know Black Mill?
Never heard of him. I see him though. Look like Black Million Man March or something. Black Mill.
Yeah, I mean, I can see outlines like a shadow.
Oh, I don't see him. I see his avatar with the red body.
Right. You got to show me more of the light, and I got to see more. Make sure you got your shirt and stuff on. Can you turn the light on?
Black Mill.
Okay, he got a shirt on. Okay. All right. Okay, he got a rag on his head. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right, Black Mill. What you got?
You muted, Black Mill.
Yeah, unmute yourself.
There you go.
What you got?
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah. I've been watching, for a while, been trying to jump on the panel sometimes, but, just wanted to make my own contribution.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, but you all hearing me?
Yeah, you just speak up a little bit. You're a little low, a little muffled.
Yeah, let me just try.
Go ahead, let me hear you.
Yeah, I was just saying, most of the characters, like even what we'd call the kings, or maybe some people would use the term pharaohs, which are the literal beings, are named after the Neterus. Like, for instance, we have Seti the First. So most of these characters, like It's just like even Thutmose the first, and it's after the god the same Tehuti. So what I would say is the characters of these Neterus, let's say Tehuti is the, like, some would say the Neteru of maybe astronomy, where he was maybe the master of astronomy, and you would find maybe the characters that are literal beings that on the planet. Like even in our times, there are people who from our families and maybe that naturally maybe just knows the astronomy and read the stars and the heavens and these things. So you would say they would be what I would say they would be more into their Tehuti character, if you understand. If you're someone who understands astronomy and you maybe study astronomy and you're a master of astronomy, I would say maybe you're in your Tehuti character, if you understand where I'm coming from. So some of the kings and the pharaohs, they were like they had the names of the netters, meaning they were representing the netters. They were literal beings that that had names of the same netters. Like Thutmose is from Tehuti. Thutmose the first, Thutmose the second. We had Seti the first. Is from the god Set, like maybe the Neteru Set, would you say, if you don't want to use the word god, because I know people have problems with just even calling them gods.
Yeah. Okay.
They being elements and principles,
Right.
So can I ask Black Mill?
Yes.
I would say if you say that, ultimately it would come back to some human man with ideological processes of different psychological characters.
Yeah, because what's up with the community? If you notice, there are some of us who still, like, for instance, most of us who follow like me, for instance, in Rastafari, God is man to us, just like the Nation of Islam and most of these black movements that came up in our times. So it's still is not separating. Even when I was listening to that brother who was making that lecture on the Ethiopian Bible, and he was speaking of the Diophysite, and it's the same thing from since way back. People have been arguing these things, whether God has a human nature, or you know what I'm saying. And
Right.
if we understand some of the things, we have a lot of misunderstanding, even in our understanding of what or who God is really. Because if you're using the Bible, I mean, you would come up with a different understanding of who God is than if you're going to use maybe the Medu Nature or some other culture, or a spiritual book or something. So yeah.
Right.
Would you
And
say in Rastafarianism there's elements, I don't know what the percentage, 60, 40, 20, 80 of Hindu Indian, because of the East Indians that came to the island and interacted as far as some of the dreads and some of the different things that may have been a shared culture with the Indus Kushites or the Indian?
yeah, I would say yes to a certain extent, but you could see all these cultures, like for instance, when we're speaking of even our Kemetic brothers, you would see, and you know how Rastafari hold Ethiopia because of Haile Selassie, and we could see all these rituals, and all these rituals are being done right now. All what we've seen on the walls, all what we've seen in India is being done right now in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is that place where it kept all that ancient culture. It's still there. All the rituals and everything, they're still doing it up to a day like today.
I can see it.
Mhm.
Apostle?
So
Yeah.
when someone tells me about India and the Indians, I would refer them to even Ethiopia.
Yeah,
Because
because India is Indus Kush.
Hindu Kush.
Exactly.
Hindu Kush.
And India
Right.
would be,
Exactly.
Ethiopia.
And Ethiopia is more of an ancient place. Even
Right.
in the conversation of Israel, and coming back to the geography, if you use in the Bible, the chosen place that was we been, I mean, all of us know about what happened historically, in the sense of the Zionists taking in charge of the place they call Israel today, on these places. But if you go to, if you're using the Bible and you're using the book, the geographical understanding of that place that was given to Abraham, whether you think it's a real place or not, I'm just speaking of the book. If somebody is really reading the book, I see that's one of the confusions in the community we have. We've even understanding the geographical understanding of what the Bible is saying, and not what we have been given throughout history, because in the Bible, the geographical understanding of that place they call Israel, the biblical land of Israel that was given to Abraham and then passed on to Moses and then to Joshua. It starts from the river Nile. It's the river in Egypt in the Bible. That's the first place they gave to Abraham. So it's from the river in Egypt to
the river Euphrates.
The river Euphrates. Right. And then it expanded from Joshua's time, because Joshua was the one, Moses, after Moses, Joshua pick up, and then he expanded the land. And if you have to go by the example, meaning the geographical understanding the Bible, that place we call Israel is just, what they gave us throughout history. It doesn't represent the whole mass of land where it's Israel. Israel is, to me, with the biblical understanding, if you have to use the scriptures and these things, Israel is Africa plus Arabia. That's what the Bible is saying. I mean,
right?
According to the Bible.
True.
I would I wouldn't have that much pushback, if any. But I want to say, I know when I read in Genesis chapter 2, verse 10, I believe 10 to 14, where it say, and a river left out of Eden to water the garden. But it says the first is Pison in the land of Havilah, that land has gold and the onyx, I believe. Then the second is Gihon, which is today encompasses the whole land of Ethiopia. I'm not going to say today, as the book says, Ethiopia. So when I look at that, and I look at the Nile starting in Uganda, I can see the first land, and it's lots of gold and all kind of resources. I know even modern day Israel first was going to choose Uganda instead of the land they're in now, or not just first, but one of the choices was Uganda.
Yeah, there are Israelites in Uganda today.
Okay,
and we know that's the longest river on the planet.
Yeah, and so my thing would be, then if we get a language, because the oldest bones are being found in Kenya and Ethiopia, right? It's both, because those are borders now, but in ancient time those borders weren't there. So if we could find like Khoisan, a click tongue, or any type of the oldest people, the Twa, the little pygmy so-called word, and we can get out of their words source of humanity, how do you say that? I think that'd be a more befitting name for that continent, from their oldest tongue, the oldest language there, giving us the statement of what is source of humanity, because science is teaching us that humans came from Africa. So what would they say, source of humanity? That would be a fitting name then, as far as the Roman interpretation of the Afar people of North Africa. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just a concept.
Do you know they're still finding deities in Kemet today? So they're over 1,005.
Wow.
When we're talking about the Neterus. And we know Bess, which is the short man with his tongue out.
The Twa,
right?
The pygmy, yeah.
Yes, which is the pygmy and the Twa. So we could see the remnants of all our people. So would you say the Twa people are not real people? I mean, we could see them right now. They're in Africa still. They're real people.
Yeah.
And he was a god. He's the god Bess.
Of the Nile, right?
Of the Nile. And they would show you that the crocodiles representing the crocodiles.
I would go as far as saying that the Twa people, or Khoisan, seeded the Asian people.
I
see it in the philanthropical.
Yeah. If you're using genetics, the Twa people and the Khoisan people, like you're saying, are more like the Twa, would be like the most ancient people. As I mean, history, anthropology, archaeology, they all showing you that they're the oldest set of people from the Congo.
And when you look into Asia, the Jarwa, the Sentinelese, but a particular people called the Ata of Philippines, they look kind of Khoisanish, like that's, And they call
Oh,
them
the Philippines, yeah.
and they call them the original people, the Negrito.
Right, Negritos. They live up in the mountains.
If you have to use logics, right?
Right.
Simple logics, right? And it's the same science. Logical anthropology, logical, is logic, right? It's being logical, right? They're telling us that, according to science, that we know the melanated human beings on the planet, they're oldest set of people on the planet, and
Right.
all the races,
Oh,
according to anthropology and all these things, all the races have a timeline, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, if we have to go about just simple little comments that I would say common sense, although it's not common anymore. Two people in the Bible we watch is two. It had to be two black people, right? Two melanated people, right? And out of these two melanated people, that's how we got it in the book. People multiplied and thing. I mean, according to the science, it's saying the same thing, really and truly, is from the melanated people. So, and then even these places in the Bible they're talking about, that's where you're getting the oldest bones. Ethiopia is one of the oldest and the first known places that they still have as a place today, although it's not maybe that same exact geographical location it was in before, because some people are saying that Ethiopia of the ancient time is more Nubia.
Brother Black Mill, hold on for a second. Yeah. I want to respond to a person in the chat telling me that there are all the Israelites in Africa converts. Look up the Limba. Look up just one. I'm just naming one. But look up the Limba. Their DNA pattern to Israelites, to what they have, is higher even than the Ashkenazi Jew that lives in Israel, the Zionists, whose heritage comes from Japheth. The Limba have already been proven through DNA to be bloodline Israelites of the tribe of Levi, Lawi, Kahan. So you don't know what you're talking about? I advise you to look up the Limba.
Yeah.
Look up the Awi. Look up the Bantu.
That we've been taught. For instance, some of us still, to most of us, the place called Jerusalem is in modern day, Israel and Palestine and these places. That's where we think the location is. But if you're going according to the Bible is telling you that the city of David is on the west side of the Gihon. The Gihon is that same river Nile that the brother just read a while ago in the beginning, which is the river that compasses the whole land of Ethiopia, which is the same river Nile, the longest river on the planet, right? And according to the Bible, it says that Solomon took a ride on his mule and just went and took a dip in the water and came back, and the people was waiting for him. And we know if it has to be the Jerusalem in Israel and Palestine, you know how long it's going to take for Solomon to just go with a mule and take water, according to what the scripture was saying. So it's impossible. The idea we have of where Jerusalem is and the whole land of Israel, and just in that little spot, it's part of the spot. Don't get me wrong, because we just gave the boundaries. The first set of boundaries was from the River Nile to the River Euphrates. So that covers more than just where we're just watching that little Israelis and Palestine and these things. Is more than that,
Right.
The land is a bigger mass of land what they gave to Abraham. So for us to be saying that the Africans and the Hamites, these are Hamites and things. Remember, we're speaking of Genesis, Yeah. Ham wasn't there yet. We're talking about the land, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about Abraham. I'm talking about the land that
Noah,
creation.
Noah. Yeah, Noah.
Yeah, that's not just Noah, Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
going back. Because it's before. Genesis. Mm-hmm. It's Genesis chapter 2, verse 14 you're talking about. So that's when the creation, and everything was being done. That's the first name, the first places and then science comes and show you the oldest bones are the same place.
Now listen, Apostle, what you just said to the chat, I'm not going to say it's incorrect. I'm going to say, but what you said could be even a lot higher. But I want you to hear this chat GPT answer first, because what it says, it's even deeper. Watch. So I said, do the Limba have more Israelite DNA than the Ashkenazi Jew? Short answer, no. That statement is not scientifically correct. But watch what it say right after that. But the truth is more interesting than that. And this is what they're saying the truth is. What the science actually shows, Limba men, especially the Buba clan, have a very high frequency of a Y chromosome lineage, also found among Jewish Kohanim. You heard that word? C-O-H-A-N-I?
Yeah, I know. It means Levi.
Okay, and it says some Limba subclans show 50% or higher of the Kohen model haplotype CMH or closely related Y DNA lineage. This suggests a male Eastern male ancestor entered their population many centuries ago. And they say you are what your father is. You think that's the male line of Hebrew?
And that's what I was talking about. The Y chromosome is higher among the Limba than it is. After they did that, you know, the Ashkenazi made it illegal to do DNA.
Damn, I didn't know that. That was the
That's right. Look it up. They made it illegal for anybody in the country, state or city to do DNA. Okay. Wow. Check it out. You can Google it. I trust Google to back me up. I don't like Google, but anymore than I like AI.
Yeah, but if you believe,
because that reference I showed, so simple. That reference I showed about Ruth was true and exact. The only way Boaz, and he married Ruth, not her mother-in-law, Naomi. He married Ruth. He had to be of a relation to Ruth in order to be a kinsman redeemer. And that's a fact. People can say what they want. They think because the Bible says of Ruth that she was a Moabitess. A Moabitess. I would be called an American. Why? Because I was born in America. I'm an Israelite who was born in a foreign country. Come on, man, it's easy. It's not hard. So since I was born in America, I can be called an American, Jew, or Hebrew. And Naomi was born in Moab, but she was a Moabitess. If y'all want to pull up Deuteronomy 23, which I always use 23:7 to show that Esau is our brother and we are not to abhor him. The early text in that verse, I think it's verse 3, it says, we are not to marry a Moabite or an Amorite for even 10 generations. That means forever. We are not to marry a Moabite. Boaz would have been breaking the law if she was a true Moabite. He knew better. Because those two people are a result of incest. The daughters of Lot laid down with their father.
When you get a chance, let me ask you a question on that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my question, how and if you have the answer to, because before we done this before, and people have said that the Bible is literal when it says Aaron, Moses, and his sister are a product of Jochebed and his father's sister, which would have been his aunt, which would have been incest at the time.
No.
But, I mean, not at the time. When I looked at it, it's not at the time. But Moses being a product of that type of connection came with the law first stating from him forward that that's incest law.
No.
Okay.
It only says brother, sister, mother, son, father, daughter, son with his mother, a daughter with his father, with her father. It doesn't get into aunts, cousins, and aunts and nephews. It doesn't include that. It includes inner relations, in bed, in. When you breed dogs, there's a thing called outcrossing, inbreeding, line breeding. Anybody that breed dogs, they know there's inbreeding, line breeding, and outcrossing. Outcrossing is no relation. Line breeding is with distant relatives or family members. Inbreeding is with a immediate family. And when you inbreed dogs, you're going to get a bunch of crap if you're dealing with purebred dogs. Because whatever fault that dog has, if you inbreed it, it's going to multiply that fault. So anybody that does inbreeding is wasting their money because they're going to mess up their bloodline. Anybody doing line breeding is going to bring out the confidence or the good things and can avoid the bad things. Anybody dealing with outcrossing don't have to worry about that. They just can't build on what they got. You understand that?
No, yeah, okay.
Okay. So I'm not saying that's what God, I'm just saying there's a logic behind it.
Okay. Well, Apostle, it says, so I want a source on this. I'm going to go back and ask, give me a source why they say it. But it said, I asked them, is it considered an Israelite law not to have sex with your father's sister? It came back. It says, yes, according to Israelite biblical law, it is absolutely forbidden to have sex with your father's sister. This comes directly from Torah in the book of Leviticus, where the law is stated, Leviticus 18:12, you shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's near kin.
Okay, what scripture does it say?
Leviticus 18, verse 12. And it gives another one, Leviticus 20:19 as well, that says, you shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor your father's sister, for that is to make naked one's near kin.
Okay, I can accept that.
Okay.
Although that's exactly what Jacob did.
See?
He married two sisters.
And that's what old boy did that you said that got Sodom and Gomorrah messed up because he married. Yeah, that was him.
Who?
That was in Sodom and Gomorrah where his sisters, when he was asleep, laid with him. I mean,
he laid with his daughters. His daughters laid with him, got him drunk.
Most of the cultures you would find that even I say most of the cultures you would find that these stories. That's why people would say it's not good to take these stories literal and they're symbolic of something else, or the allegorical stories maybe that means something else. But just for instance, like the Noah story, for instance, most people tell you the Noah story can't be literal because of just thinking of the animals and these things. But even on the level of what we are speaking of, when you watch the Noah story, was like a new creation, right? In the sense of Noah gave the warning, nobody thinks 7 people, it was 7 people or 8 people who got saved on the boat. Pardon, it was 8 people, right? Who got saved on the boat, and it was like everything. Noah took 2. Even in some of the stories, they're saying he took like 7
He took 7
pairs
of
of
clean,
different, yeah,
of the
right,
clean animals,
different,
because they were
right, and
eating.
the clean animals, right. So it
That's
was
a lot
almost
of
like
animals.
it's like a rebirth, it's like a starting all over again, and it's a new creation. So you'd find these type of things, like you'd see like the incest, because he and his family, it was just he and his family. It wasn't nobody else. So
Yeah, I
obviously,
mean, the women
you know,
were not
so
related to them.
so that's
In
why it's
fact,
not good.
Noah's wife was probably related to Cain more so than to those 10 from Adam to Noah. But people always ask, well, how did Noah take 2 lions? He didn't have to take 2 full-grown lions. He could took 2 baby lions. Everybody's thinking that he had to have full-grown animals. That's not so.
Well, now I want to ask you this, Apostle, to this, not even, I want to go to an abstract, a science question. Do you think, personally, and you, Black Mill, do you guys think just because in olden times, in Roman times, they had Roman numeral 1 to Roman numeral 10, which Ra'u Nefer Amen, out of the one that wrote the metaphysical books, Metanetters, volume 1 through 10, the old man, he said that's objective and subjective. Objective means something that can be touched, tangible.
Right.
Objective is an idea, like love.
Right. Subjective. Right.
Yeah. So he's saying that out of the 0 or the Stargate, 0 to 9 is what numbers really are, as opposed to 1 to 10. So they're dealing in the objective realm, the Roman, where the ancient African is more like jazz or rhythm. They're dealing in the subjective realm. And all numbers we do know go from 0 to 9. Nowadays, in modern times, we teach that. But here's my question to that. Regardless of what he was saying about that, let's deal with this part of the question. The 0 to 9, ironically, the sun could be the 0 and it's 9 planets around the sun. Would that be a coincidence, or is that how they got the math?
Yeah, I guess it can be a coincidence. You look at a clock.
Yeah.
If you look at a clock, draw a clock. Just draw a clock right now, round circle, and put number 12 at the top, number 6, and then fill in 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
Also, I made the 0, I made the 12.
Okay. Draw a circle around the 12 and the 6.
Okay.
You did it?
Yep.
Okay. 6 from 12 leaves 6. Write 6 underneath.
Okay.
Draw a circle around 11 and 5.
Okay.
5 from 11 equals 6. Put a 6.
I did.
Do the same thing with 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Okay. Do the same thing with 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Do the same thing with 8 o'clock and 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Everything coming back 6.
Everything comes back 6.
6.
Is that a coincidence?
Is that 12 times?
Huh?
How many times would it come back 6? This is 12.
All of them. Every time. You'll see when you go to the last 7 and 1, 1 from 7 leaves 6.
No, I get that, but I'm saying And how many repetitions was that? 12 repetitions. So it would be 6 units of 12. I mean, it'd be 12, 6 units 12 times.
Yeah.
6 times 12 is what? That'd be a good question. Let me see. 6, 72. 72 is 9. But
72 is the number of Israelites that went into Egypt.
wow.
And 72 is the number of Israelites that translated the Septuagint.
Wow. Yeah, I remember. Yep. That's what Septuagint. Well, it means 70, right? But it
was 72. Right.
Yep.
It means 70 though. It does.
The times. Coincidence. It plays a lot in a lot of stuff. Some of it is like the Fibonacci code. It's embedded to do just that, which would deal with something even bigger than we know, greater than us.
Calling out Morpheus. Calling out Suntan. All the usuals. Where are y'all? Where you at? You got time. Sai ain't going on. Sai's not going live until 7 o'clock. And we know he's going live with Unbiased, dealing with the what they call that? ABA or
FBA?
FBA?
Yeah.
Founded. What's that? Foundational
America.
Black Americans. Yeah, that's going to be the discussion at 7 o'clock.
Versus
so you got until then to go in the big leagues. This is a big league channel, but I'm just a small guy with a big body.
Apostle, what is the FBA is it contrasting? Is it FBA verse something? What's the title?
I don't know. He's a supporter. Unbiased, Ron is a supporter of the of FBA.
Yeah, I was on his channel last night, I believe, Ron. Okay.
You was on the channel with Ron?
I don't know if that's the same Ron. I was on the channel last night with Ron, Q Butter, a few other brothers.
Oh, okay.
Well, I want to see because I liked it.
Y'all give me a minute to shut my door, man, because my wife is coming home, and the dogs know it.
Are you there, Black Mill? You mute.
Yeah, I was saying even in the numbers, even
quiet.
I remember most times.
Quiet.
No, you're talking to the dogs. Go ahead, Black Mill.
Oh, I was saying the whole TV program, the Sesame Street, with the count. Remember they had the count?
Yeah.
If you remember, the count used to skip 0 because most people do that up to now, If you ask them to count, they would skip the 0 and start counting from the number 1,
Yeah.
And which is something, we've been doing for a while. And there's a title for the women in Ethiopia. They call them like War Zero, like Selassie. Mom's name was Zero Yashimabet. So just the in the end of the word you read War 0, right? The same 0, kind of representing the woman. And then we have Joshua, the son of Nun. Nun, you know how the English language is, If you have none, it's like nothing, the nun. So we have the nuns in the Catholic Church. We have Joshua, which is the son of Nun. And we also have Nu in the Kemetic culture, Nu too, which represents the same thing really.
Hey, Black Mill.
Nun in Hebrew represents fish.
Okay, so it's a little different.
Now it represents fish.
Black Mill,
which is still it doesn't change anything, because I will tell you all, majority of the women in the Bible, if you have to, do your research, even scientifically, they, like for instance, Abraham, from the starting of the Bible, most of he met Rebecca by the well. We have this story with Samson and even Solomon. Most of the wives of it has to do with some body of water. right? We have even Miriam playing a timbrel and parting the Red Sea and these things not really literal. If you have to take it, then we have that lady, which is even in the Sodom and Gomorrah story, where she turned to a pillar of salt. Now I'm telling you, all that has to do with the same water. Is like a water body.
You know they found that, right?
What's that?
The shape of a woman made out of a pillar of salt. And it's in the shape of a woman looking back towards the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right. Yeah.
It's on top of a mountain.
Black Milk, let me say this.
They say the same thing about the ark, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But Black Milk, let me ask you. You know, in Hebrew,
yeah.
Okay, because you know a little Kemetic and Hebrew. In Kemetic science, Geb is the earth god, right?
Right.
And Ray
right.
is a
and it's a male character.
Yeah, and it's a father. He's the father of Osiris, as well as his spiritual father in heaven, which is Ra or Ray. Now, in Ethiopian language of Amharic, a lot of the male last names or women male all of is Gebre.
Right.
That's wild. And they claim he was Osiris was I forgot the name. Diodorus said he was a colonizer that left out and started Egypt from Ethiopia.
Yeah, and it even said he was born in Ethiopia.
Yes.
Osiris. And it's very funny, you know, because the titles for the what we would call the aristocrat, you know, I put it like that, you know, but the kings and the queens in Ethiopia, they name Ras, children of Ra. Ra's children. Osiris is Ras, which is the same Ras, R-A-S. So it's a continuation. I see the kings of Ethiopia. I mean, most of the brothers won't agree with that because of the timeline. But I see it's a continuation of the bloodline from, because it's the same area. What's separating them is rivers and boundaries, mountains, and these things are separating the places. That's places you could drive to, even though it's going to take you some days, but it's the same mass of land.
And you got Tafari. Ta is earth. Farai in ancient Kemet is like the flesh. So it's like Ra in flesh, Rastafari.
Right. And it's very funny, you know.
Man.
Remember the sun. The sun is the most deified thing apart from what we call our creator, or God, or whatever you want to call it. Yah, Allah. But the sun, in all the objects in our solar system, the sun is the most, I would say, it's like a life sustainer. It might not be the life giver.
Yes, it's prominent, and without its flame,
right? If you're looking for something next to God, that would be the sun. That's why most people will tell you the Bible is a sun book. Holy really means is a halo. The sun on top of your head. Just Helio Bibios.
Yes.
Which is the same in all the ancient cultures. You see, they're using that symbol of the sun, because it's not just they were worshiping. We getting the ideas wrong. Europeans told us that we were sun worshiping because they're sun worshiping. Or like the what we're going through, the so-called Christmas is a form of sun worship, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. When we did wait. Let me ask you. Let me ask you, Mill and Apostle, with that soul. Okay, it's 3 words. Is this coincidental, Apostle? You got 3 words. Ancient Egyptian AR. If you look it up in the Medunetta, is the I. If I'm correct, R. It's called R. You got in Latin, soul is sun. Solar, you see the sun with the eye, sun eye. Moon's eye would be lunar. Stellar would be stars, of eyes of stars.
Yes,
all this R is
it's
connected.
The solar system is the system of the soul. That's why all the planets and all these things are important to understand. That to me, we came here to understand our surroundings so that we could live conducive with the surroundings, you know. But what happened is, through the whole system and religion and everything, it kind of brought us to that kind of what people call in religious thinking, which is an indoctrination of dogmas and these things, of just repeating the same thing and not really studying, because everything is one. What we call in God, like some people would say,
Yeah, they had a natural connection with the nature, or nature, however you want to call it, with nature, because
Exactly.
you got to know the sun. I mean, to have a horoscope, it's like horoscope means to see something. Horus can see. Horoscope, Horus sees.
Right.
They were in the
Right.
cosmos, and they were
The
looking
scope
at
of
different
Horus.
planets. At certain times. They knew when to plant the crop and when to harvest the crop based on the star system.
Right. That's the first book. The first book, like everybody's talking about, what the first language is. Your first book was the stars, the heavens. That's what you call what they call astrology today, but it's more astronomy. Because
Hey, Apollo.
time,
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm here.
I mean, I'm sorry, Apostle. Even in Hebrews, you guys had to know when to harvest, when not to harvest. It's a higher.
Well, the Bible says that he put the elements in the heavens so that for seasons and times.
Yes, sir. And that makes you guys distinct from I want to say a savage person that just eats everything up in town, don't know when to plant or not, and then it's starvation.
yeah.
Right. That's why you have half of
Psalm
us.
19, Psalm 19
Half
says
of
it all,
us
you know.
identifies the Sabbath by the lunar calendar.
Yes.
Not all of us, but half of us. But that's the way it started.
Yeah, that's heavy.
By the Sabbath is known, the first Sabbath is known by the new moon.
That's scary, Apostle, because when you study ancient African griots or wise men teachers, they say in Africa the first calendars was lunar, and they say many moons ago. They don't say suns.
Right. They count. You count this. Each month has a certain amount of days.
Month
You
is
can
moon.
give
Month is moon, ain't it?
like the Enoch calendar.
It's like moon.
Each month has 30 days, except for the quarter. The third month will have 31 days. And then it goes back again, 30, 30, 31, 30, 30, 31, 30, 30, 31, 30, 30, 31. Therefore, there's 34 days in a year, according to the Enoch calendar. Everything is based on that 30-day revolution. Each month starts, but you know the new month, like the new year, is springtime. Our new year doesn't make sense. How can it be new and everything is still dead? And January is dead. There's no new growth. The new growth doesn't start until the spring in March. So a question was asked about Easter and Istar. How do we know? Because sometimes it's in one month and then the next time is in another month. Well, it depends on the new moon.
Okay.
And this thing called Lent of the Catholic Church. Lent.
That's your son going into the ram, which is
Right.
the Lamb of God.
So,
you know? And
so that's why sometimes even Passover, according to the Ashkenazi, is in March. Sometimes it's in April. Sometimes it's in March. Even among us, the different groups, they start as early as March for, the Passover. Most of us start in April.
Okay. Hey, Apostle and Black Mill. It's strange. A Kemetic concept kind of works for the Trinity concept in Christianity, where they say water has three elements of itself. I mean, three objectives of itself, but one element. Though it's water, it can become frozen in a hard, solid form. It can get heated up and become a mist in its misty form, or it can be fluidity and flow in its natural form.
Yeah.
Same thing with an egg.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
show you one thing I understand that happened to
The
us.
same thing with an egg.
Let me hear
And
that.
an egg
Yeah.
is something that produces life.
Yes. Well, water.
You have a shell,
Yeah. Okay.
you
Yeah.
have the white part, and you have the yellow part.
Okay. Shell.
But
yeah.
they all equal an egg.
Yeah.
But the problem is the yolk is just the yolk by itself. The white is just the white by itself. Okay, I got you, Asar. The shell is just a shell by itself, but if you don't break the shell and you leave all three together, it presents an egg.
On one.
Yeah. But it also represents liquid, solid, and gas.
Yeah.
Almost like your whole periodic table. That's your periodic table there. Liquid, solid, and gas. Right? And it would sound strange, but we've been told that we were polytheistic. We left polytheism, and Osaze there, you could tell me if I'm wrong, according to what Europeans say about our people. All pantheistic. We was practicing animism, they say, which is like worshiping of things and these things. And we understood, to my understanding, our people, and just like the sun, they say we was worshiping the sun. When I studied a little more, according to my, people I listened to and my teachers, because I didn't go to school for that, but I could tell you, when I understand, our people understood solar biology in its highest form, right? In the movements of the sun, the amount of time it takes to move from one constellation to the next, which is 2,160 years, right? They understand that from one age to the next. That's why you even see the Kemetic deities with different forms of, like what would the same anthropomorphic, the anthropomorphic heads, like the ram.
Brother Mill, wrap it up because I wanna introduce
Yeah.
Asar.
Yeah, it's all about the movements of the sun,
Yeah, I agree. Y'all please take a moment and like the video. Smash that share button, share it, hit the like button. Okay, and remember the Cash App. Sonetta's Cash App. I'm still here promoting Sonetta. Okay? I'm promoting Sonetta. And for various reasons, like he said, this is his business. This is his job. So let's support Sonetta. Do your best. Do what you can. I'm sure he will be grateful for whatever. Hit the like button, share button, and let's make this a good presentation. Go ahead, Asar.
Okay, I'm just catching the bill. ETE Emetep Sini Sene Anguas the Jet Uncle Johnson. Do I had section? Yeah. I'm just catching a couple things as I come into the bill. A lot of things you point out are also pointed out in Kemet, such as the song of the two sisters, Aset and Nebethet, when they sing for Asar to come back, which was done around the 25th, not too long after the month Kaher Ka, where we give praise to the ancestors. So they call Asar to come back. And when they call Asar to come back, this happens during the solstice. Why does it happen during the winter solstice? Because when the solstice happens, we know that the days are going to start to get longer as opposed to being shorter. So they're calling Asar back. Initially, Asar was represented by the tree. So when my brother Black Mill was talking about anthropomorphic and things of that nature, we start to see where these things play a part in what's going on. He's represented by the Nisubidi, the king. The Nisubidi is the Nisu plant and the bee. So you got the birds and the bees. The bird is our set coming over the top of the golden phallus, looking like honey, impregnating herself with the sar seed by swooning her wings up as he becomes animated. A sar represents the bee, and he represents the plant life. So when you see in the ancient tombs the little bodies of a sar with the plants growing from out of him, this is what that's representing. This is the teaching of nature. This is the teaching of the birds and bees and pollination. So you can actually see that. You can watch in how they discuss it in the mythos, and it's not that difficult to put together. So he would represent that. When you were speaking about Easter recently, we see that in the month of Kaher Ka, where they would hide like played body parts of a sar around the city, similar to the myth when Set cut him up into pieces and started to hide the parts in different parts of Kemet. So you see the same thing start to play out, where they're hiding the parts of a sar here, there, and everywhere, and people would go to find those parts. They also have a play during that time where Heru battles Set, and it used to get so fierce when you read the text, some of the people who would play the side of Set would die for real. So, you know, that would definitely play in the ancient Kemet. The last part, and when you start talking about water and its representation in ancient Kemet, such as some of the what you now call baptisms, water, as Firmicus will tell you, is what you would call paganistic. All your water rituals come from paganism. Most of the Christian water rituals come from paganism. So when you pour the libation on down to when you dip people in the water for the cleansing, from the wab, being pure in the morning for the king when he takes his bath in the morning, and then he tells you, my body is this, my phallus is a sars, my backside is setis, my hair is newts, my this is that. This is all water representation from ancient times to purify you concerning what you would do in the morning. And these are those things playing out in what you would call paganistic times, Shemsu times.
Okay.
But
good information there. But what do you think about what we've been witnessing for the last 3 weeks? I know of 3 presentations where Jabari and Tehuti was going in trying to find a title or a topic for a debate, and it's still unresolved. Who's to blame for this? Who's telling the truth? Are the nectars real? Are they not real? What was wrong with the last topic that Tehuti presented was that the nectars are living beings.
The problem is the topic is convoluted because the Necharu are real and they're also principles. When I say they're real, the name of the earth was Geb. So before you get earth, you get Geb. The name of the sun was Ra. So before you get sun, you called it Ra. When you call the wind Shu, when you call moisture Tefnut, when you call a chair Set, when you call a chair Aset, when you call a king's throne Aset, when you call vision Ma'at, that's the Necharu. They're the celestial bodies in your universe, and they also had constellations, different things like that to back them, right? So stories start to come from these particular things. They're also some of the names of people. They're also some of the names of the armies of the different clans that lived in ancient Kemet. Then we have Necharu like Imhotep, who were fully deified as a person. But we also have lessons from each one of these Necharu that were anthropomorphic and also just psychological, making them simply principles. You're an Asar. I'm an
Can I ask you a question, Asar?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
in our modern day of understanding of, there's, I'll put it like that, because in the conscious community, there's Christ the man, like we understand. Some people would say is Yahweh, and some people would say is Jesus, whatever name you want to use, right? That character of the 2,000 years ago that we hang about. And there's the Christ consciousness, like some of us would say. And if you understand the Bible speaks of Israel coming together in plenty places as one man. It says us a lot. If you type it up, you'll see plenty places. So I see it as Christ, as the people, the consciousness of we, like us coming together and, trying to help each other out. The Christ consciousness, right? As a
Christ is
people
the
working
logos in
together.
Christ.
And then they
Gotcha.
have Christ the man. So I was just saying, people like Tutankhamun and his father, Akhenaten, when we heard the stories about them, they were literally, well, not Tutankhamun, but his father, to the stories. He and his empress or his wife, they were worshipped
Turn your
as literal
camera on,
human
La.
beings, and they were
Brother
literal
La,
beings.
excuse me, y'all.
They,
Turn your camera
they
on so I can make sure that's you.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Brother La,
go
turn
ahead,
on your
Osaze, go
camera.
ahead.
Okay, brother, I got you.
No, I didn't get to hear your question after you made it.
I was saying, can we say people like King Tut and these people, even in the Ethiopian kings list, people like just recently, which is in the 700 BC, I think, or in 1100 BC, not BC, sorry, in the 80s, people like King Lalabella, he's glorified. I would say these characters are literal human beings who, they even have legendary stories about them, where when I say legendary stories, that the stories about them are even exaggerated in a way where you cannot take it literal, right? But they are literal human beings. They were literal human beings, and they were Christ characters of their type of the life they lived. They were good characters. So I would say, you know, in our lifetime, these characters we see as Neterus, they are people literally on the planet living a Tehuti life, I would say, or living, maybe a life of Amen, or you may, that's how I see it. It's just like
Okay,
even the
hold that
Orishas.
thought. Hold that
Yeah.
thought, because before Asar answered, that's the same thing I said. I know that there was a Christ that lived, walked the earth, that ate, eliminated, he bled, he died, he communicated, he was buried, his body didn't see corruption. On the third day, he rose. After he rose, he walked the earth for 40 days, teaching and preaching. And then they saw him in the book of Acts, the first chapter, when he ascended to heaven. And the word was, why stand here, ye men of Galilee, staring the same Christ that you see in like manner shall return the same way he left. So that is what Tehuti is offering. And I don't see where the problem is. So Asar, go ahead and address that. And immediately after Asar is finished, I want to hear from Brother Locke. So go ahead in that order.
So with King Tut and some of the real people who live, their stories are told on the wall. So there's not a lot of exaggeration. What happened happened. So they're telling you, when and we got his body. Here we go, right here in it. You know what I'm saying? So for certain things, it's not a problem to see because we have the body, the information intact. Like they'd be like, oh, and he did this with the sticks and blah 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 blah. And when you go into King Tut's tomb, you find gold-plated fighting sticks. So when I took my class with the School of Manchester, that was one of the things that surprised. I'm like, yo, they put palladium. I think he had like a platinum stick and a like about 6 gold fighting sticks. So some things are the facts, right? When you talk about the Tehuti situation, Tehuti as a character, there's certain myth and there's certain realism. The person Tehuti that they believe lived, they have a place near the Asarian where in the text it said, I think it was 1,000 or something from Tehuti birds that were there. So when they started to go uncover that, they were finding a bunch of Tehuti birds stuffed in the ceiling. So we have that. When they talk about a PEP as an entity in the mythos is fake. But the PEP skeleton that they found when they did the excavation and they found the long net that they supposedly caught him with was not. So we know a PEP doesn't flip into the sky and gain wings or this or that. But was it based off an actual happening? More than likely, especially when you find, I think they said it's 52 cubits in William Petrie's and E.A. Wallace Budge's book. Matter of fact, the Gods of the Egyptians, they tell you the size that they found the skeleton of the snake. So it's a huge snake in ancient Kemet, which is not far-fetched. You still find huge snakes today. But was there a bird-head man running around here? No. Are the mythos generally related to happenings in nature and they base it off the constellation before it comes? Yes, it's their form of television back in the day. Was there a physical Asar that lived? That's a possibility. They found in the Per Ankh. I was just saying it on Smash's show. In that Per Ankh, they found the head on top of a bunch of incense. They said it was the head of Asar.
Yeah, there's a figure of him. And he's one of them that didn't have an animal head.
Yeah, Black Mill, hold tight.
Right.
Hold tight. Brother-in-law is next.
Right.
Brother-in-law is next.
So everybody keep their thought. Yeah.
All right, brother-in-law. Go ahead.
As always, peace and blessings to everybody that's on the panel as well as
Speak up, brother-in-law. You're a little low.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Better.
As always, peace and blessings to you all on the panel, as well as your families, as well as the families and people in the chat. I heard you say something towards being paganistic, and I had put it in the chat I saw, but I don't know if you've seen it. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh aki. Kayfa halaki? Finish chewing.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In alhamdulillah, Anquas the Jed, you know.
What I wanted to ask you, what I wanted to say to you, Ak, is this. Yamkallah, Yamkallah. Hey, Ak, wipe it all, Ak. Yamkallah.
Hey there, Stan. Greetings from Philadelphia. So much history in this city. Everywhere you look, there's another monument or statue. In fact, above City Hall.
Let me know when you're ready, Aki. You can take me off the big screen, man.
You finished? You don't have nothing else to say?
No, I wanted that he was wiping his mouth off. He was chewing.
He asked me a question, but I'm
sorry. I didn't hear. Okay, go ahead.
So the question that I asked you was in regards for cleanliness and things of that nature. Would you perceive making wudu as being paganistic?
Good question. Good question.
Yeah, he asked about stuff like tayammum, which is where we
wudu, the cleaning.
Wudu is the regular one with water. Tayammum is like what you do with the dirt when you don't have water. Some of the cleaning. He just said yeah. He just said yes. So when you do that, and you've seen this, Saber Lod, you've seen in the pictures, it looks similar to how, like even in Seti's cenotaph, when he's giving praise to, I think it's Amun or Amun-Ra, I can't remember. You see him go through the whole prayer ritual. Yeah, you would think he was an ancient Muslim. and they were just adding a few things. When you look at him in the different positions on the wall, going through the prayer, and when you see
Now,
them pouring the water over his head, making the purity, it's no different than Tayammum. But here's the thing: when we get
now,
to the Abrahamic faiths, they
now,
demonize the water
now,
worship, right?
but
So
now, not, but no, but well, hold on now. I want you to slow down a little bit because what you're doing now is you're drawing a lineage between Kemet and Islam. This is far before Judaism, far before Hebrew Israelites. If we want, I was trying to hold off.
don't you take no
But
shot at our moderators right now. We look.
let them shoot. Let them shoot.
I know.
Let
So
them shoot. They're not qualified.
so the Hellenistic Jew and Hebrew and Muslim, they get these rituals early. So Firmicus
No.
lays this down for everybody who doesn't know. Firmicus was a friend of famous Christian. I can't remember the name. Anyway, Firmicus starts to lay down, because he was a heavy Shemsu. He starts to show you how these rituals come into Christianity, how they come into Judaism and Islam. Go read Firmicus's books, one or the first or the second he's going to lay it down like a Persian rug for you. Absolutely. So
Shukranaki. Shukranaki.
for one, Jazakallah.
Go ahead,
Forgive
Apostle.
me, Brother Love.
Yes.
Are you saying that Islam is before Israel?
Nope, it better not be.
Are you
Why I
saying
better
that?
not be? Why I better not be?
Because it wasn't.
Okay.
Hold on, Santan. I'm gonna get to you. Hold on, Brother La. Once again,
Yes.
are you saying Islam is before Israel?
What I'm saying to you, brother, is this: the question that I asked at hand was in regards to wudu.
Right.
Wudu in Hebrew would be perceived as what?
Bathing. In Mishnah, but that's with Jewish.
And I'm not
But
going to say,
anything
brother,
dealing with cleansing.
and I'm not going to say, brother. I'm going to say aki, because
Okay,
aki in Hebrew
same thing.
we
But
perceive the
okay,
same way.
go ahead. I can accept that. But I'm asking you, are you saying that Islam is before Israel?
What I'm saying to you in regards to the question at hand that I asked, if I'm able to show forth evidence and proof in the Meronetta, in the text, that it's a direct line before it got towards Hebrew Israelites, Hebrew, or any of that. I saw us here. The direct line between Kemet and the correlation between Islam, it would be there. If I could show forth that, would that end the conversation?
No,
Can I make
because
yeah?
because you want to associate Islamic ritual, woo or wudu, meaning cleansing before prayer, um, that it existed in Egypt before Israel. That's not the issue. I'm asking you not if the ritual of bathing existed in Egypt. I'm asking you, then Islam exists before Abraham?
Once again, so we don't get it convoluted in any sense, form, or fashion. I'm speaking directly in regards for making wudu. Wudu is in the text as well as in the Meronetta. I saw. Am I correct by saying this?
You're correct.
So
I'm not talking about
Asar,
Hebrew.
okay, hold on. Asar, is the word voodoo, or is there some other word being used to express cleansing? Or is it voodoo?
The term is wob. And
so in your term is wob. That's different from voodoo. It might end up the same result. In Israel, it's called Mishnah.
What I'm saying to you, Apostle, is this.
The cleansing.
Hold up, right quick. Let me ask you this. When a preacher tries to prove Jesus is in the Old Testament, what word does he use?
I was just about
that
to
Jesus is in the Old Testament? What word do you use?
Yes.
They usually say his name is Yeshua, right?
Let's walk down this rabbit hole.
I'm just saying that's an error, because
don't freestyle it tonight.
The word Yeshua is a compound word. Yah is one word. Shua is another word. And
what
the
do
blue
they
letter,
say?
or
They say Jesus' name lies in the middle of it.
Hold on. The Strong's Shua 7769 means to cry for help. So when you say Yeshua, you're saying Yah cries for help.
And Jesus
so that's not a name. That's not a name. That's not a name of the Son of God. That Yah cries for help. Yah salvation is the name. Salvation. So whatever salvation is Ishaya, Yeshaya,
Yeshua.
No, Yahusha. Yahusha.
Yes. That's
what I'm saying to you. It's not Shua. So Shua is a word that means to cry for help.
Okay. So Apostle, would you say, Apostle, that Islam by definition means total submission to the will of Allah? So we know Israel as a nation was not here before the first men on earth. So all the time, no matter if they thought they weren't or they weren't, everything in creation is in will to that which created it. And that's by definition what Islam would be.
But the word Allah didn't exist.
I don't think he's saying that. He's talking about the principle. I don't know, though.
Even the principle of Allah,
the principle
did not exist
of all creation to the
they credit for Islam the father of Arabia. They credit to be Ishmael, Abraham's son. Now,
where'd you get that
credit? Ishmael.
Where did you get that from?
From different Muslims. They say Ishmael is the father of the Abrahams.
Where did
Ishmael live? I know Islam started with the angel appearing to Muhammad, and he said, recite.
Wrong.
Let me ask you.
Well, you say wrong. Y'all shouting out of order. Morpheus, you're going to get your turn. You got 3 people ahead of you. Okay? Now, I'm not making this up. Muhammad is the first prophet of Islam.
Well, Apostle, let me ask you, where is Ishmael from?
Where's Ishmael from?
Yes.
Ishmael was born in the wilderness. He was a nomad.
Where did he settle with his wife and kids in the Bible? Where did he settle with his wife and kids in the Bible?
They eventually settled in Canaan.
In Egypt.
But
in On.
Not. They did go to Egypt. They did go to Egypt, but they left Egypt because of the lie that Abraham told. And Isaac and Ishmael were born. Ishmael was not alive when Abraham went into Egypt. And Abraham lied and said his wife was his sister. And
Yeah, but you
Pharaoh
talking about
almost
before he
slept
was
with
born.
her.
Why would you bring that?
And the Lord
We talking
spoke to
about Pharaoh.
Pharaoh and told Pharaoh that this was Abraham's wife, not his sister. And he said to Abraham, why would you do such a thing? According to the Bible. Why would you do such a thing? Abraham had no children. Eliezer was his chosen one,
Who came
his
first,
inheritance.
Hagar's child or Sarah's child?
Say what?
Hagar's. I said, who came first, Hagar's child or Sarah's child? Because
Hagar's child came first, but that was after Abraham left Egypt. Pharaoh put Abraham and his whole house out.
Where's
Hagar sent
from?
them out.
Where's Hagar from?
Hagar's from
Where's
Egypt.
Hagar from?
Hagar is an Egyptian slave.
And when he sent her out, where does it say that they went?
Now, see, now you're moving the goalposts. I'm not talking about where Hagar went. We was talking about, hold on. We was talking about where Abraham went. Now you want to move the goalposts and say where Hagar went.
Elder,
she went out in the wilderness.
Elder,
she went out into the wilderness.
Apostle.
And there she said, listen, man. Listen, y'all ain't gonna be moving the goalposts.
I'm not.
You ain't gonna move the goalposts. Israel existed. Jacob existed before there was any mention of Islam. Islam came after Christianity. So let's not start this nonsense.
Apostle,
the father of Islam is.
Now we're gonna come back to it. We're gonna come back to it. But I got a few people to bring up. This is easy work. This is easy work. Even according, how can Islam exist before Israel? And Islam speaks of Israel. Israel don't speak of Islam. Israel don't quote. The Torah does not quote the Tanakh. I mean the Quran.
But it does.
The Quran quotes the Torah.
The concept of submission to God is Quranic too, right?
Listen, brother, it can come from many sources. Many people teach to submit to God. That in itself, though, many people believe submit. I believe in submitting to God.
Ishmael is
that is within itself. In order for the Quran to quote Torah, Torah had to exist first.
Ishmael
discussion over. Torah is before the Quran.
What
the Quran
is Ishmael the father
is
of?
after Abraham. I mean, it's after Muhammad.
No,
because Muhammad didn't even create the Quran. It was created years after his death through memory. So stop this capping, man. And let's move on and create and continue with a great discussion that we were having up until this point. Please.
As you perceive it as such.
It doesn't matter. As I know it as such. The Quran quotes.
I'm gonna let you finish, Elder.
The Quran quotes Torah. Torah does not mention the Quran because it didn't exist. So we're going to move on.
I'm going to let you finish, Elder. But my premise for coming on here, I asked the question, which your sir answered, and I wanted to compound on the question a little bit more in depth, which he elaborated with, and which we were having a dialogue in regards to. And what I stated, as a sir stated, and it's capable, if you're able somewhat to read the Medu Neter, it can show forth that the existence of purification in Wadu shows a direct line in the Medu Neter before Kemet, from Kemet, straight into Islam.
But it's not called Wadu. It's not called Wadu as it is in Arabic, because all they had was a ritual. The Canaanites had a ritual. Anybody can have a ritual. That's not showing that Islam was present because somebody's doing a water ritual. It don't make sense. Now show me scholar information that shows that. Like I say, you call it voodoo. The Jews call it Mishnah. The Egyptians called it what, Osaze?
Wab.
Wow. It's wild. No, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, wow. But even though the results are the same, it's not talking the same. That does not correlate to Islam existing. Because a water ritual exists.
I'm not speaking. No, I'm talking about the whole process and making
process is water, man. Cleansing. That's the bottom line.
No, this is what you fail to realize, because it's fail to realizing of lack of knowledge. That's basically what it boils down to.
So what else is included, man?
What I'm explaining to you, Elder, is this respectfully. I don't want to raise my voice to you.
No, it's
what I'm saying to you is, in the process of it, washing of the mouth, washing of the nose, washing of the face, the hands, forearms, the head, washing of the feet. This was a practice in Kemet, and it transliterates towards Islam, whereas Hebrew Israelites and Jews don't do it.
That's not true. They did do it. They did do it. We did have to cleanse ourselves. What the hell are you talking about?
Listen to what I'm saying to you, Elder. Respectfully.
We even had to wash our food.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, Elder. Listen to what I'm saying to you, Elder, and you answered the question yourself. Did is past tense. This is still present, still to this day.
Brother, right. There's a lot of things that we didn't do, and I guarantee you, in Egypt, they ain't doing that way anymore. I'm not saying they're not washing, but they ain't doing it that way anymore. Any more than we are circumcising still anymore.
For certain schools of thought, they are still practicing the same tradition.
Brother, you can do it any way you want to do it. You can recite it any way you want to recite it. They didn't have the same intent in mind. It had nothing to do with Islam, and Islam came 2,000 years later. So forget that. Islam came 500 AD. Around that time. Muhammad was born like 535 AD. And until Gabriel came unto him, there was no Islam. You had no book. You had no authority. Christianity had been in operation for over 300 years before there's an Islam. That's why in the Quran, they talk about Isa. Christ. But the Torah don't talk about anything with the Quran because it didn't exist. It didn't exist. You talk in the Quran about Abraham, you talk about all the founding fathers, the patriarchs.
Can I ask a question?
In a minute, I'm going to get to you, Morpheus. I'll get to you. But I got some other people to get to first that's been on here longer than you.
Yeah, but I just don't think anybody's arguing.
So,
Really.
yeah, well, that I don't care what you think. It's over with. It ain't
You
about
see,
what you think or how
see,
you feel.
this is why
Easy
you want.
band.
This is why you're going to
Easy
have a
band.
heart
Go
attack.
ahead.
Yalla, Aki, yalla, yalla, Mofi, yalla, yalla.
Easy band. You go ahead, brother.
Just dropped off, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I accidentally did that,
Oh, here you
brother.
go.
All right, cool. Can
Salak.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, salute to the panel. Salute Osaze, salute, man.
Brother.
You can talk about it. We can talk about the title.
Yeah, I wanted
or anything that's been discussed on the floor, brother.
All right, word. I want to do that too. I want to talk about the title, but I also want to add to the conversation you guys are having when it comes to Islam, Christianity, and Kemet. So I'll just read you guys a few verses from the Quran, right? In regards to Christianity. So you have Quran 10, verse 94, which says, so if you're in doubt, and it's talking to Muhammad here, right? It says, so if you're in doubt about what we have revealed to you, this is Allah talking to Muhammad. If you're in doubt about what we have revealed to you, then ask those who've been reading the scripture before you. The truth has come to you from your Lord, so do not be among the doubters. So he's basically telling Muhammad that if you're in doubt about the revelation that has come to you in the Quran, right, go check with the people that were reading the scriptures before you, talking about the Christians and the Jews.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So that's basically, confirming what Apostle is trying to tell y'all, right? When it comes to, and they call this the Islamic dilemma, where you find Muslims saying that, the Quran is supposed to be some sort of like correction of the Bible. But when you read the Quran itself, the Quran is saying the opposite. The Quran is saying, hey, look at the Bible if you're in doubt, right? And it's talking to the Prophet there. So that's one. The brother, when you guys were talking about the water, etc., when it comes to water, that was just a Near Eastern cultural thing. All right. So there's two things, right? It's a Near Eastern cultural thing. Everybody used to use bathhouses. The Romans, the Greeks. It's a Mediterranean thing, actually, right?
Exactly.
Romans, what's that?
Exactly.
It's
That's
very
not
true.
No.
That is true. Stop talking out of order. The brother's talking. There's one mic.
I apologize, Elder. I apologize.
No problem.
I don't know how you say it's not true.
Yeah, it's true. It's a Near Eastern cultural thing, right? But then these Near Eastern cultural things, right? They get introduced and used by religion differently. So you have Kemet, they used to use the same cultural practices, but incorporate them into their religion and basically have their own procedure. You have with the advent of the Hebrews and the Israelites, they incorporated water rituals in their own methods, and same thing with Islam. But behind it is all a Near Eastern cultural thing. Everybody used to deal with water, bro. So okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what the point of the conversation was. And then when it comes to the title of what we're talking about, I think Jabari was being, I'll say he's trying to be slick, because he actually said that the Netaru are not actual beings. Am I lying?
Yeah, he's saying they're not actual.
Yeah, he said they're
real, but not actual.
Yeah, he said they're real, they're not literal, and they're not actual, he said. And so yesterday when Tehuti brought up the topic of, what was the topic again? What was the topic he tried to use?
He tried to use that the Neter were real living beings.
Yeah, that right there, I don't know why Jabari said that was vague and that he didn't want to debate that, because that is perfect. If you're saying that the Netaru are not actual, then you should be willing to debate, are they real living beings, right?
That's the way I see it.
That's the way I see it. So, yeah, and if I'll from there I'll just I'll take I'll fall back and follow the conversation. If y'all don't mind, I like to go back and forth, especially when it comes to Islam and Christianity, because Asa already knows, man. y'all be saying a lot of stuff about Christianity, and I'm Christian off top, so I'll let everybody know I'm Christian. I'm here to defend that.
All right, Brother Suntan.
Just real quick, then I'm gonna let Morpheus get it. I'll go by chronology, and I believe from my studies that Christianity was first. Islam came out of Christianity, so I'll leave it there. You go ahead, Morpheus.
Do I got permission to talk?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you're next.
I don't think anybody argues if Christianity or Israelite or Jews or Judea comes before Islam. I don't. That to me, that's like a stupid argument. It's like
I just said it though.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Obviously, if someone says that, they obviously don't understand.
Right.
Islam. It's like Apostle was 100% correct about the stuff he was saying, but I was like, that's not even an argument as far as what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you just open up the Quran and you go to Surah Al-Baqarah, right, and it starts off with Quran tell you ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى الْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Right? Just that alone in Surah Al-Baqarah kills this whole argument. So it's like nobody's even arguing or what came first. So I'm trying to understand who's arguing that.
Let me say this real
Let me help you. Let me help you out.
Let me say this real
Your brother La argued that.
Right. I want to, and that's why I let
your brother La said that Islam was before Israel. Your brother La said the Quran is before the Torah.
No, he didn't say that.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Anybody want to come up here and say he didn't say that?
Hold
You're
up.
not being honest.
Hey, you being right, Apostle, but he was saying it in the principle. Morpheus, that's how you said it. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. Hold tight, y'all. We're not going to do this game.
I thought it was my time to talk. I thought it was my
your time, but other people are talking, and I'm stopping it. You're not going to say I started this conversation. I asked Brother La, is he saying that Islam is before Israel?
He didn't say
and
that.
He answered the affirmative.
Yeah, that's why I let you go on, Morpheus, so you
That's
can
what I'm saying. I'm like, it's like nobody.
So where the confusion is, you need to talk to Brother La, not to me.
Listen,
because I'm not confused.
I'm not talking to you. Let me talk. God damn.
Go ahead, brother. You can talk.
Did anybody on this platform hear Brother Law say what he just said?
Yeah, he said something similar to it. That's why
I didn't say nothing similar to it, Suntan.
You said it. I asked you, brother. Hold tight.
Yo.
Brother, I asked you. Where you at, La?
I'm right here. I'm right here, sir.
La, you said.
Did I not ask you?
Never said that. La just said
Hold
the
on.
voodoo part. The voodoo.
Hold on. No, I don't need nobody speaking.
Okay, I got
but La. I don't need nobody speaking but Brother La.
Okay.
Brother La. After you talked to him about voodoo and he talked about it, I asked you, are you saying that Islam is before Israel?
Come on, man.
And you affirmed that. Right. Yes.
That's right.
When I told you, you are wrong.
Morpheus, that's why I let you get in so you could clear it up. That's why I gave up.
This is what La said. I asked him that question 3 times.
Yeah,
if this is what he is insinuating by voodoo.
Right.
This is crazy.
That it is before.
I can't believe
and he even said Israel did not have a custom about washing and cleansing.
Well, you're right.
He said that.
Morpheus cleared it up. So let's move on.
Listen.
Let's go back to Morpheus.
Listen.
And maybe Morpheus can premise his discussion with, I don't know why you even talking about it. Because La brought it up. That's why. we talked about it. So now go ahead and correct it, clean it up, do what you want to do with it. Don't act like I'm the one that started it or I suggested it.
Yo, I can't believe that we're having this conversation.
Neither can I,
You can't believe it. You
Neither
can't
can I.
believe it.
Crazy.
We are.
Neither can
That's
I.
a fact.
Hey, listen.
And that's not what I said. And I don't want to be rude or be disrespectful to you, Morpheus, or to Elder Suntan, or to Elder Apostle. I don't want to overspeak you. I don't want to raise my voice. I don't want to do none of that.
You good, man.
All right, brother Lord, just clear it up, man. What did you say?
Y'all know my temperament. Y'all know how I don't want to raise my voice because I don't want to have to later on apologize.
Listen,
so I'm willing to be still, and I'm okay with being still.
Yeah, let me say something, please. Right.
Go ahead.
Anybody with basic kindergarten fundamental knowledge of Islam, right, knows that Islam is last. Okay.
Right.
Is no, I mean that's why I'm like, what are we arguing? What are we talking about?
Okay, you got that.
You know what I'm saying? I think what I was listening to him coming in and saying, okay, so we're talking the same action, right? And the action is what? Cleaning, washing, right? Whether it's
Morpheus, quick question. Ishmael is born first, right?
Yes.
So how is Islam last if Ishmael is born first?
Because Islam is a principle. That's what everybody's getting. I used to go to Islamic studies all the time, and the Imam would teach that Islam has been here before anything. It means submission to the Creator.
Stop. Watch this. What does Islam mean?
Total submission to submission.
Wrong.
Well, what does it mean? Go ahead.
The word Islam comes from the Arabic word as-salama, which means what? It means to surrender. Okay. It means to someone translate as submission, but it actually means surrender.
Same word.
Muslim is one who surrenders. If you say in Islam, they have what's called haslam taslim, which means to surrender or die. Okay. What do you hear inside that Arabic word? You hear what? You hear S, L, and M in Muslim, in Islam, and Taslim. Because if I said to you, let's say if we're wrestling, and I had you in a headlock, and I said, Haslam Taslim, I'm asking, do you give up? Do you surrender? Right? Which means I give up, I surrender. So the word Islam, right? I'm not talking about the religious connotation of Islam. I'm referring to the language, linguistically. It means to surrender. Okay.
Right. Morpheus, you're responding to the language, but is there not a lineage associated with it as well? No. That's why I'm going back to Ishmael, because if there are Abrahamic religions that stem from Abraham, and Ishmael is first.
Brother Jay.
Let me say this.
I don't remember you being called on.
Yeah, but we're having a discussion.
No, we're not. We're having what I'm saying we're having. Yeah. And until I call on you, I don't want to hear from you. But the point is, I'm going to excuse this. I'm just letting you know, Morpheus got the floor.
Yeah,
Apostle.
whatever.
Is it okay for us to hold a dialogue without having somewhat of in the sense of a dictatorship?
It's not about a dictatorship, but the thing is, if you don't take control, you're going to have chaos. And if anybody know that, it's me.
I understand.
All right?
That's fact.
If anybody know that, it's me. So Morpheus has the floor.
Okay, watch this. Can I say something, please?
Yes, sir.
Watch this. Is it possible that I can share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna try. Let me try to clear something up, right?
That's what we're here for. Learn.
Okay, watch this. Let me share this real quick. How I do this? Both share screen. Right here. All right, here we go. Surah Maida, right? Not Maida. I'm sorry. I'm gonna show you this, right? I'm sorry.
Put it in present.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I got it right here.
All right.
Is Surah Al-Ma'idah. Okay, cool. Here you go. Okay, look at this. Can you see it, everybody?
No.
Not yet. It's
I
not
got
showing.
you.
Oh, he got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Do I need to make this bigger?
Yeah,
A
blow
little
up.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying. This is all new.
If I squint, I can see it, but you got it.
Did it get larger?
No, it didn't.
No,
move,
bit.
but I can
I'm
read
sorry.
it.
Hold up.
If
Tell
you
me,
go
tell,
to your
wait. Tell me if it got larger now. How about now?
Yeah.
did, yep,
Yeah.
we can
Okay.
yeah, we can-
Now, to answer the brother question about Abraham or Ishmael and so, right? If you went to Surah Ashura right here, right? This is saying to Muhammad, right? You did not know what the book was or what is faith. Stop. What is it saying here? That Muhammad had no knowledge, he had no knowledge of what the book was. What book is he talking about?
Quran, right?
No,
No,
Bible.
the Torah. The
Torah.
Oh, the
Torah.
Torah.
That right,
That's why I
because
said
why?
kitab for the people of the book. Yeah.
Right, they did not. They so the Arabs prior to Islam, in accordance, they had no knowledge of Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac and all this stuff.
Well, Morpheus, I would counter that with
Whoa, Jay,
Muhammad?
Jay.
Jay.
What did I tell
Why
you,
can't
Jay?
everybody's talking but me? Why can't I talk?
You got
Everybody's
your
talking,
turn.
and I have put.
You got your turn to come. Morpheus is talking.
No, everybody was talking.
No, everybody wasn't talking. Morpheus was talking. Some people were saying right, but they wasn't elaborating. You jumped in and elaborated. You got a brother in front of you. His name is Matthew. Wait. Go ahead, Morpheus.
Okay, so if you know the history, right, of the Arabian Peninsula, right, any research will show you within the Arabian Peninsula prior to Islam, right, the people of the Arabian Peninsula, right, were paganistic, for lack of a better term, right? They had no knowledge, right? And I can show you through the Quran, they had no knowledge of the Torah, they had no knowledge of that stuff. The Quran here shows you that Muhammad did not know, right? Did not know anything about the Torah, right? None at all. Where did he learn this stuff from? He learned any of this stuff from the uncle of Khadija named Waraka. Waraka was a Coptic Christian, right? It was a Coptic Christian. He was the mentor of the guy we're referring to, Muhammad, right? And so the Quran here is speaking about that he didn't know what the book was. Al-Kitab, he didn't know what the book was. I'll show you in multiple places, right? So when you're asking a question about Ishmael, right? Well, Ishmael was older and so, it's like, okay, so what's the point? Right, but it doesn't support what he's talking about as far as Islam.
Are you done with your screen sharing now, Morpheus?
No, not yet. I'm sorry, real quick, right? So, as we look at this, right, and we see it here, right, in the Arabic, right, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوَحَانِ إِلَيْكَ رَحْمُونَ excuse me, وَرُحَامٍ
Rouhani, Aki.
Huh?
Rouhani.
Yeah. I got my glasses on. Ruhamin Amrina, right? Amrina ma kunta ataturi mal kitabu. So, in other words, they did not know, had no knowledge of the books. So they didn't know about any of this stuff. They didn't know. So all you got to do is go through the chronology of certain surahs and you'll get a better understanding of what you're reading, right? But you can't put this stuff and just slap it together and say, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that, right? So I don't think anybody's really making that argument about Islam being, older than You know what I'm saying? You can close your screen. I don't know if I'm doing this right. How do I stop this? Exit this. Did I stop sharing? It stopped sharing?
Yeah, I took it down.
No.
Thank you. Yeah, so I don't think anybody's arguing that. But back to the point about the wudu and the washing and the ritual, like you said in Hebrew or it's Mishnah, right? In Arabic is well, it's just a washing. It's a ritual. It's just washing.
Exactly.
It's not that deep. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like washing. That's like saying, hey, if I eat with a spoon and then you across the planet Earth and you create a spoon, does that mean I got it from you?
No.
No, of course not. Right? Of course it's not. So I don't. So y'all can move. We can move on with the.
Okay. So I want to go back to Brother La. I want to give Brother La, in spite the fact that I know what I asked him. I know what I asked him. I'm gonna give him an opportunity to change his answer. I'm gonna ask him again.
Brother La fell off.
He fell off. Apostle, when you get a chance, let me know when I can speak. That's all.
Okay, I'll get to you. I see you, Easy Man. I'll get back to you. I'm gonna go on down to Brother Matthew. Go ahead, Brother Matthew.
Okay, appreciate that. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't want to derail the conversation, but I did come up because I wanted to speak on what I saw on the title, the Jabari and Tehuti possible debate. I understand what both of those guys are talking about, but I more so agree with Tehuti. Part of the problem that I see, I think when people believe in something, especially when it's something that's ancient and from the past, they have a tendency to try to explain it in a way that makes sense to them, and they can't accept that the books that they're reading, the people that they're learning from the ancient past could just be wrong. A lot of times when I hear Jabari talk, he says, well, that can't be what that they meant because that don't make sense. But who says that everything that the Egyptians said had to make sense? Case in point, when I read through the literature of ancient Egypt, it seems abundantly clear to me that they're teaching that there was a time on planet Earth when the Neteru lived on planet Earth, and they taught mankind the teachings that are found in those books. These teachings about what is Ma'at, how to live Ma'at, they're saying that they got this information from the Netters. And if they didn't get it from the Netters and they just made it up, that's well and good, but they're saying that they got it from the Netters. And I don't want to take too much time. I can't share my screen because I'm on my phone. But I want to just read one quick thing to illustrate my point.
Go ahead, bro.
It's out of the instructions of Ptah-hotep. Now, Ptah-hotep lived around 2300, 2400 BCE. We're talking over 4,000 years ago. He's probably, I hear it said that he has the oldest complete book on record, and he lays down what Ma'at is. Now, when he lays out his information, he's passing on this information about how to live according to Ma'at and rule according to Ma'at to the next generations, because he's 110 years old, he's about to die, and he wants to pass on the information. So this is what the man clearly says. He says, if you but do this, you are versed in writing as to those learned scribes of the time that came after the, well, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. I apologize. I had two things pulled up. He says, may this servant be ordered to make a staff of old age, so as to tell him the words of those who heard the ways of the ancestors who have listened to the gods being the Neteru. So he's saying that his ancient ancestors heard the words and they listened to the Neteru, who gave them this information about Ma'at, and then this information was passed down. Now, that I'm not saying that makes any sense to anybody that's listening. I'm not saying we have to personally believe that, but I'm saying to me, it's abundantly clear that they were claiming that the Neteru lived on planet Earth. They lived side by side with humans, and their system of belief, their religious doctrine, their understanding about how to live Ma'at and why it's important to live Ma'at came from the Neteru. That's who told them. And in the next part, and then I'm gonna get off of it. At one point, he says, "Great is justice, lasting in effect, unchallenged since the time of Asar." Now, even in the mythology, Asar isn't the first Neteru that's created. But in the mythology, Ma'at existed from the very beginning. It's the thing that the entire universe is built upon. So if he's saying that Ma'at has been unchallenged since the time of Asar, he's telling you that Asar is the one that gave people, mankind, this information about Ma'at. He was that righteous king who taught them, who raised them up. He was killed by his brother. His son came after him. His son ruled. Now every king has a right to rule in the seat of Heru, the rightful king. But the how to live Ma'at itself, they say they got that from the Neteru. And I don't see how anybody can dispute that they're saying they got these teachings from these Neteru, not just principles, not just the sun told them, not just energy told them, the planets didn't tell them. They're saying beings told them this stuff. Now, it doesn't have to make sense, but this is what they thought. This is what they taught. This is what they believed. The Neteru lived on planet Earth side by side with humans, taught them their system, because if they whole system didn't come, like how do you have a divine right to rule, and how do you have divine instructions from the words of the gods, and you never heard no words of the gods? If you don't have no connection to a real divine being, how do you have a divine right to rule? You have to be
brother. I'm trying to close you in. I'm trying to bring you in.
You say I'm done? I'm done?
Yeah. I got to get this next first. Good sharing, good information. I'm going to go to King J, but before I go to King J, I want to say, y'all, good show. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Help the algorithm. And donate. The mods put Sonetta's Cash App in the chat. Let's support our brother. Okay? Let's support our brother. Thinking about this, I want to say to Rock Kufu about these bird heads. I don't know if you know, brother, but there is alien beings that call themselves the Blue Avians, and they got bird heads. They're supposed to exist. They look just like Thoth. They look just like Thoth.
Okay. I know it's a tribe in Africa with bird feet.
Yeah, I know about them too. Brother King J, listen, y'all, we got a half an hour before we've been here 3 hours, and the start of Sonetta's bill with unbiased sport. So let's make good use of this half an hour.
Also, what do you say the name of those beings was again?
Blue Avians.
Blue Avians? I think I heard of that.
Apostle.
Corey Good, and what's the other white boy named David? Corey Good. He's the guy that did the 20 and back in the military Space Force.
Oh, I got it right
They
here.
regressed it.
Yeah. I pulled it up. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Apostle, really brief. I don't want to go back and forth with nobody. I just want to give Morpheus this verse. and that's it. And then he can deal with me later. Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I asked ChatGPT, what ayat in the Quran says Islam has been here since the beginning of time? And it says in the Quran, the idea that Islam's submission to God has existed since the beginning of humanity is expressed conceptually, not by saying the word Islam was a later religion, but that all prophets taught the same submission to the one God. Here are the key ayat, but this is the statement here where I'm really getting the meat to it. It says, indeed, the religion with Allah is Islam, or Inna Adina Inda Alaki al-Islam. This verse states that Islam's submission to God is the one only divinity accepted way, not a new invention. And this is it. I end with this. It says Abraham was neither a Jew nor a Christian, but he was a Hanif, a Muslim, and he was not of the polytheists. This shows that Islam predates Judaism and Christianity, going back at least to Abraham, meaning that Islam is understood as primordial submission, not a later sect. That's just ChatGPT's understanding.
Yeah, but that's not true. And we know it's not true. Because Abraham came from the city of Ur and of the Chaldeans in Sumer, and we know what they believed in Sumer. They believed in Enki, they believed in Enlil, they believed in those that came from heaven to earth. They came, which is I can't think of it right now, but it don't matter. Go ahead, King J.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Peace to the panel. To the brother Matthew, just a quick question. Do you read the language?
No, that was a book I had translated by Miriam Litcham.
Okay, because we do a lot of work on Smash Show, even the last couple of days. Like at this point, I think that talking point is pretty much over with from the people who actually, because Smash has actually demonstrated, just today. So maybe just try to check out his show. You know what I'm saying? He goes over it. Netaru, Aku, we went over today. I'm to the point of nausea. Actually, I'm tired of talking about it. But Morpheus, Muhammad, right? So when I mention it, so you would know more than me, right? The story of Ishmael, right? Abraham, Hagar. Could you give me that story of Abraham and Hagar, and supposedly how they supposedly build the Kaaba?
In according to Islamic tradition, or you mean history? Because you got
according to the tradition of Islam.
Okay, according to you want to know about the Kaaba? Actually, there were about 8 Kaabas. Did you know that?
Well, you answered the question. I'm not talking about the Mahdi in Jerusalem. I know how Muhammad changed the Qibla and direction of prayer. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about according to Islamic tradition.
Right.
How does Abraham and possibly Ishmael build the Kaaba?
I don't subscribe to that tradition myself personally.
Can you tell us it?
Sure. We could hear the story. In fact, I could show you better than tell you.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, hold on.
It's just unbiased scholarship. Even if you don't subscribe to it, we want to know the other side to the story.
I thought the Kaaba was something that came down from heaven.
Yeah, according to the tradition, you're right. You're correct. Where the Kaaba means cube. It's Arabic word which means cube. Mm-hmm. And there was multiple Kaabas actually.
Multiple Kaabas, but we're talking about the Mahdi and the Mahdi in Jerusalem.
No, the Mahdi in Jerusalem.
Yes.
What are you talking about, bro?
That would be the first. So the Qibla, right? The direction of prayer, right? They were always praying to the Jerusalem, correct? To the east.
Yeah. But what's your specific question about? I think I got lost. Something about Ishmael.
I'm asking you to tell us the story according to Islam in regards to Abraham and the building of in Ishmael.
Okay, here you go right here. I want you to see. I want people to see it. Okay, here we go.
Because it's not the covenant with Ishmael. The first covenant is with Ishmael, right?
According to Islam, or according to the
both.
Tanakh?
The first covenant was with Abraham.
It's with Ishmael because Ishmael is the firstborn.
No,
He would have been the first one to be circumcised.
it doesn't matter. I mean,
It does
Adam,
matter.
Adam
It
had
does
a
matter.
covenant. Noah had a
Who
covenant.
was circumcised first? Ishmael?
Noah has a
Ishmael
covenant.
was circumcised first. That's the point I'm
Brother,
making.
Noah's before
We're not.
Ishmael.
You changing it. You moving the goalposts at this point.
No, I'm
But
just saying. You said the first. You said the first covenant. The first covenant was made with Adam.
No, I'm talking about in regards to Ishmael and Jacob.
Yeah. Well, Ishmael didn't have a covenant made with him. Only Isaac did.
Yeah.
I would challenge that point.
Well, you can challenge it. I don't care.
Yeah, Ishmael had a covenant.
Can I add?
Well,
Definitely did.
What too?
Right. So okay. The problem is you got like different stories from different religious backgrounds, so that's why you got to kind of be specific. Like, you mean according to the Torah, or you mean according to the?
Alexa, be quiet.
They're two different things. You know what I mean?
So we can just go into it, right? Even with the Allah, right? The story with the 360 other idols in Ilah, the Ilah, that's not the name of the deity, correct? That's just like the universal, El being the definite article, the Ilah, the deity, literally the deity, right?
Yeah,
that's not a specific.
Yeah,
That's not. But that deity is identified with the Abrahamic God.
Well, no. The reason
Not
why
according to Israel.
I'm gonna tell you why I say no, right?
I have a thorough for that though. But go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with that. Because you gotta remember, before Islam, right, Allah existed, right, within the Arabian Peninsula. He was part of a pantheon. This is before Islam, way before Islam. So the people of the Quraysh, right, in the pantheon, they was already worshiping Allah, but there's worship.
No, they worship Habal. They wasn't worshiping Ilah, Habal.
Habal was one of them, not just Habal, not just Habal, right? I can show you the book. I got a whole book of all the deities in the Arabian Peninsula prior to Islam, and you're correct. Habal was one of them. But
my argument would always just be to the root of it would be that it's the same Ugaritic deity Il, right?
Well, you can make that argument.
That's why he's telling you that, because the Lot story,
right?
He had like brothers, and they burned the house to get rid of his father, and then he eventually gets rid of all his brothers. He becomes the one and only God, and then he becomes elevated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Islam.
Right.
Reduction.
Right. See, the issue, so we got to be careful, because we're mixing different, you know what I mean?
Ideologies.
Yeah, ideologies. Then when you mesh them all together, and you're trying to make sense, it's, you know what I mean? You're not going to get it, right? So you have to keep them separate to understand what's happening. You know what I mean? Within chronological periods. You know what I mean?
King J, are you talking about the Bible?
So I don't disagree with you about how about, I don't disagree with none of that. None of that. I don't disagree with you. You know what I mean? I just say we got to be careful if you're going to go into that, that conversation, and be able to separate it to understand what's happening. That's all I'm saying.
Because the Bible don't speak nothing about none of that.
King J, are you talking about the Bible when you're talking about the blessings and who got the blessings, etc.? You're talking about the Bible?
Yeah.
If you're talking about the Bible, it's clear that Isaac got the blessing. He got the birthright.
Here's the question, right? Let me say this real quick.
Right, it's not the birthright to the firstborn.
And Ishmael.
You can say that's usual, except in exceptions. There are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah. Yep.
They're the same with Cain and Abel. The same with Manasseh and Ephraim. The same with Isaac and Ishmael. It was switched. The same with Israel and Esau. It was switched. So what you can say normally happened, there are exceptions to the norm.
Yes.
So you're going to make me come out. Genesis
16,
1 through 4. talks about the blessing and the covenant of inheritance with
Uh-huh.
Isaac, and the other one talks about the covenant with Ishmael.
Ishmael, yes.
Ishmael.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, Apostle, right?
Yeah.
What is the? Can you tell us about or speak on what happened to the descendants of Ishmael according to the Bible, not Islam, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah,
They became, he
yeah,
had 12 dukes.
and they became a great nation, right?
Oh, yeah. They became a very great nation.
Okay, so what? So who is that nation?
It's Muslim.
It runs, honestly, it runs from England to Saudi Arabia.
So would it be fair to say that Ishmael descendants are Arabs?
They're Arabs, but they also are Nords from England. They are the dukes from England. Merriam-Webster tells you that the word duke is a European word, and the dukes come from Great Britain of notoriety. So they were rich, very affluent, princes, kings in Saudi Arabia. They were the elite of elites.
So then, okay, so watch this. So then, if the I'm reading here, Ishmael descendants, according to biblical and historical tradition, became numerous tribes. I guess that's what you're saying across the Arabian Peninsula, right?
Right.
Forming the basis of the Arab people with promises of becoming a great nation. Blah blah blah. Okay, so then my question is, so the Arabs, right? If this is true, then the Arabs is your brother. If you're Israelite, correct?
Well, okay, Isaac wasn't an Israelite. Israel didn't start into Jacob, Isaac's son.
Right. We
will more be brothers or cousins to Esau.
No. I'm asking specifically about the Ishmaelites, specifically.
Yeah, what I'm saying, we will be related to them, cousins.
So they would be your cousins. They would be a half brother if they came from Hagar.
No, they would be Isaac. Isaac is not my father. Would be Jacob.
Right, but
Jacob is the nephew.
Right. But Isaac is the father of Jacob.
Right. But so that would make Jacob the nephew.
Right, so then that would make the Arabs your uncle.
My uncle, cousin.
First cousins.
Yeah.
They nephew kids. They nephew kids.
Two brother sons.
Yeah.
Okay,
two brother sons.
Right, so the Arabs.
Can I add something right quick to Mr. Morpheus's question? I just wanted to say, when it comes to DNA, right, the Arabs, we have similar DNA. We're both E, right? So we're E1 B1A. They're E1 B1B, right? Yeah.
So that means that the Arab actually came first because through Hagar.
Right.
Because the Israel exactly.
No, that's not what it means, bro.
Yes, it do mean that.
No, it doesn't mean that.
What it means is where Ishmael came first, there was no structured religion called Islam at that day and time.
And Jacob wasn't even born.
No, we're not talking about Islam. What I'm trying to understand, right? Because I'm not talking about Islam. I'm just saying, if we just following the text, right, in the story,
right.
Ishmael would be Isaac's big brother.
Yes.
Correct, right?
Right.
Older brother. He was like 15 years older than Isaac.
Right.
12.
So then that would make
12, 15.
So that would make the Arabs older than you.
The Arabs?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, but the thing is, we share the same father, so they're not older than me. But yeah, we still go back to the same father, Abraham.
Yeah.
Same God.
If he
Yeah,
son,
Are we
then-
talking
so
Then he's
then-
over.
so
Then
then-
the Arabs, or
you're
we talking
fine.
about the religions? Because
So
if we're
then, so
talking
then
about
here's the, here's the question then, right?
That's why I
Here's the
mentioned it in the first place.
Okay, hold
What?
tight, y'all. I'm hearing too many people talking at the same time.
Yeah, brother, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, Morpheus. The thing is on you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so if Ishmael is the older brother, right? Let's follow this. If he's
Right.
the older brother of Isaac, right?
Right.
That would make him older than the Israelites, so to speak, or the Ishmaelites would be older than the Israelites.
Right. But guess what? They're all born within the same generation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only 15-year difference.
Right.
Absolutely. But so if the if the Arabs make the argument, right, to the Israelites, yo, man, we older than y'all. Or we was here, it wouldn't be wrong if they make that
No, they
argument.
wouldn't be wrong. But the problem is the blessing didn't go to Ishmael. The blessing went to Jacob through his father Isaac.
Right.
Apostle, one more thing I want to it's also like if we're talking
Now,
about
because of Isaac, all of them are blessed.
Right. But the problem is
Even Ishmael is blessed because of Isaac.
But Apostle, the problem that I have, right, that the blessing went to Jacob, correct?
No,
went to Isaac and then
Jacob stole the blessing.
All right, that's
He
what I'm
didn't
trying
steal
to
the
get
blessing.
to.
Stop, man.
That's the point
He
that I'm
didn't
trying to
steal
get to.
nothing.
Stop right there. Stop
they're
right
both
there.
blessed. No.
Right.
they're
So what we're
both
saying
blessed.
is, based on the story,
you're right.
well, Apostle, do you agree that according to the text, according to the narrative, right, that he stole it? He stole it from his brother.
No. It was prophesied before they were born.
Listen.
It was Isaac. Ishmael got nothing to do with Jacob.
Right. We're
Got
talking
Jacob
about
and Esau. So
Listen.
Isaac and Ishmael has a calamity. But God said the blessing would be with Isaac. And through Isaac, the rest of the family would be blessed.
Hold on, Asar shaking his head. Go ahead. I want to hear from you, Asar. Go ahead.
The blessing went to both of them, which is why God tells you that Ishmael will have great nations and many progeny as well. The inheritance of Sarah went to Isaac. He put Hagar out. She walked back and forth in the Quran. As we put them together, they say 7 times and water popped up. The well of Zamzam is built over there. This is where they built the land of Mecca. This is how their tradition goes.
Exactly.
Hagar
Hold on.
Exactly.
The desert.
Oh,
When
okay.
they think they're going to
Okay, Asar, hold on though.
That's what I was asking Morpheus the story to tell earlier, Asar.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on, Asar. Hold on. Because when it comes down to it, Esau was blessed. Esau wasn't without a blessing.
We didn't say
he just didn't like his blessing.
Yeah. And my point is,
no, he liked it. He was finna die. He liked it.
Jay, am I talking?
He was hungry.
Stop, man. He wasn't starving to death. Stop changing the narrative. He could have made him something to eat. He knew how. Stop changing the narrative. He wasn't starving to death.
So, Apostle, just real quick, I want your understanding, right? So Isaac originally intended for Esau to inherit everything, right? According to Isaac, correct?
There might have been, because Isaac didn't hear from God.
So
Rebecca heard from God.
Right. So, but I'm saying, so the blessing was originally for Esau, right?
Originally, it was for Esau. It would have been.
Right.
It had not been switched.
So, according to the narrative, it was for Esau. Jacob gets it by way of deception, according to the story, right? If we read the story,
Jacob gets it by way of prophecy.
No.
And you can add it up any way you want to add it up.
No.
But it was God's intention. It was the Most High's intention to give it to Jacob.
No,
not Esau.
Can you
Apostle,
show can you show me, because that would contrast, because what I'm asking is about according to the narrative, according to the storyline.
I'm saying according to the narrative. I'll show you.
Well,
Mr. Morpheus.
according to the story, Jacob gets it by way of deception.
But if it wasn't God's will, Jacob wouldn't have started the whole nation. He wouldn't have become Israel if it wasn't God's will.
That's not where I'm going, Easy. That's not where I'm going yet. All right.
But do you get what I'm saying?
No, I got you. But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to get to
Apostles, right?
What I'm trying to get to in the story. How does Jacob gets it? How does he get it?
All right, I'm gonna show you.
He uses deception. That's true.
Just hold on, and I'll show you.
I'm not talking about.
He uses deception, but like Apostle said, it was part of God's plan.
So then watch this now. So according to God's plan, right? According to the story, right?
Yeah.
Now watch this now. How do you reconcile two things? One, Jacob gets it by way of deception. So that what you would be saying is that the deception was part of God's plan. That's what you're saying.
So it was prophecy, right?
No. No, I got you. But in saying that, you're saying that the deception was part of God's plan.
Yeah. Now,
God, you can between.
Morpheus, hold on, bro. It's not.
We have to look at the text, right? Genesis 17:20.
Yeah, bro, let me just finish. Let me just finish right quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Talking over me. Yo, Mr. Morpheus, it's not God that's deceiving anybody. It's Jacob that does it, right? But it's part of God's plan because he wanted it to go.
No, listen, I'm going with you. So then the deception was part of God's plan.
Yeah,
it was part of the plan. Yeah.
Well, you can't get around that.
What? You can't.
Yeah. But Genesis 17:20.
Why do you think they show the embarrassment? It's an embarrassing factor that they add into the story. So if it was they wouldn't have even added that into that.
They tell you. They tell you that he was living confident and he was a wild donkey.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. I got to pull it up. Hold on.
He tells you, I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. He will become the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation. That's Genesis 17:20. So Ishmael got his blessing too. Yeah. It's not like one got blessing or it came through Isaac. No, the covenant that God kept with Isaac was different than the covenant he kept with Ishmael. Exactly. Ishmael was to be the father of 12 rulers, and they would all make a great nation.
So I got the script. Okay, so thanks, man. So I got the scripture up where the Most High intervened. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took a wife, Rebekah, to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, and Padan, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So we see that Isaac prayed and Rebekah conceived. The children struggled together in her womb. And she said, if it be so, she's pregnant, which is supposed to be a good thing. Why am I thus? Why is all this trouble going on inside? She went and inquired of the Lord. This word Lord is Yahweh, the Most High. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. That's prophecy.
Prophecy.
So
hold on.
Okay.
Prophecy talks everything. Oh, God is a liar.
Okay.
Tell me
If
this day your
prophecy
birthright.
is not
That's what
true,
it say, 31.
then God is a liar.
So
when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
No, we
The
understand
first came out red. That's an exception. This normally did not happen. It
Apostle,
normally
read
did
down to
not
32.
happen. Over like a hairy garment. He had hair everywhere. This was an exception. This was something that caused them to, wow, what is this? And they called his name Esau, which means red. They called his name Esau. And then it says, and after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold, heel. That's where you get heel catcher from.
So then,
okay,
Apostle. So how do you reconcile that, right, with Deuteronomy 21:16? Right?
What did it say?
Is the law establishing the birthright of the actual firstborn son, even if he is from the less loved wife, ensuring that he gets a double portion of inheritance and leadership rights over sons of the favorite wives, right? So Deuteronomy 21:15-17 actually speaks of the firstborn, even if he's from the unloved wife, the inheritance goes to him.
Right.
So how do you
understand?
So how do you
what I read
had
nothing to do with Rebecca.
No.
But everything, hold on, everything to do what God did. God is the one that did it. God is the one that told her. It has nothing to do with who she loved. These babies are not even born.
So Deuteronomy, what I'm asking is Deuteronomy is a law, right, that's concerning who inherits what? The firstborn, right, or the secondborn. So I think the conversation we're having is about Ishmael and Isaac. So I'm saying, based on this,
no, the conversation we have in here is about Esau and Jacob.
Right, but Ishmael and Isaac is way before you get to Jacob and Esau.
Right, but then I can go back there with God.
Let's ask Morpheus a question, brother. Brother Morpheus, what are you actually trying to say? Like,
what I'm asking.
The Bible has a narrative. I'm just saying the Bible has a narrative. It says who got the blessing, who got the promise, etc., right? So, what is your point right now?
We're discussing. At least I thought we was. We
were discussing Ishmael and Ishmael being the oldest.
Right.
Ishmael and Isaac.
All right, let's deal with Ishmael. But see, Ishmael was not considered a proper son.
No, but I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. Apostle, that goes against Deuteronomy 21:16.
It doesn't, because Ishmael was not the firstborn son.
Listen, what you said?
Hold on. He was born to a concubine.
Morpheus,
he was born to a concubine.
It doesn't matter.
So it does matter.
Listen, Apostle, listen. Deuteronomy 21 says, right? It clearly says that if the firstborn comes from someone who's not, but he's still the firstborn. He's
someone who's not what?
He's not the one that you're referring to as far as the promise or whatever. He's
That's according to the mother.
No, according to Deuteronomy. I'm talking about Deuteronomy.
Read Deuteronomy word for word.
Okay.
Don't parse it.
When let's start at 15. Let me go back for stuff from 15. If a man has two wives and he loves one but not the other, and both bear him sons, but the firstborn is the son of the wife he does not love, when he wills his property to his sons, he must not give the rights of the firstborn to the son of the wife he loves,
Right.
in preference to his actual firstborn, the son of wife he does not love.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So
hold on.
So Abraham didn't have a choice. You know why? Abraham didn't have a choice.
So Apostle,
because Abraham did not obey God. Abraham was told by God that he was going to have a son by his wife, not the concubine, but he listened to his wife. She told him to go into my slave and have a son for me. But when Ishmael was born, the handmaid did not turn the son to Abraham's wife.
Where you going?
He held the son. And then after Rebekah conceived and gave Sarah, after Sarah conceived, like God told Abraham, she pitching an alt against the two brothers. Abraham, asking Abraham to do what God told Abraham not to do, to choose her son over the rightful son, who was Abraham's wife's son. That's the issue. It had nothing to do with Abraham, like it had nothing to do with Rebekah.
And one more thing.
But it had to do with God and what the Most High said. If it didn't happen, you're making God a liar. And God is not a liar.
Apostle, let me just add one more thing to Mr. Morpheus. So you read a definition of the law, right? And you basically saying you're talking about wives, right? Whether it's your favorite wife or a wife you don't like. Now, let me just read something to you right quick.
And this will be the last word.
All right, bet.
We have 3 hours.
All right, bet. So I asked ChatGPT, right? Was Hagar Abraham's wife? And it says the biblical account was Sarah's Egyptian servant or maid servant, and she became Abraham's concubine, not his wife in a formal sense. And then it gives context. It says Sarah was initially childless, so okay, you guys know the story. She gave Hagar to Abraham to bear a child on her.
But he never said that Hagar was his wife.
King J. Come on, King J. Stop. We know the narrative. Don't try to mix it up. We know the narrative. Hagar was not his wife. She was a slave.
Exactly. And then it says Hagar bore Ishmael, Abraham's first son. And then it goes on to say the Bible distinguishes between wives and concubines. Wives had full marital status, while concubines were secondary partners, often used for bearing children when the wife could not conceive. So Hagar was not a concubine. Hagar was a concubine, not a wife.
So watch this. AI here says something different, bro. My AI says something different than what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, it says completely different. Guess what it says? Let me read it to you.
What does it say?
Right? I'm not saying you're wrong. It says, yes, Hagar was a wife or concubine, handmaiden given as wife. Genesis 16:3 actually calls her his wife. It is a reverence figure in Judaism, Christianity, Islam as the mother of Ishmael, the ancestor of Abraham, blah, 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 blah. But it goes on to say here that it actually called her wife.
Yeah, on what I'm saying with mine.
But in actuality, she was a concubine. She was Sarah's slave.
What's the Hebrew?
And the be thought, this goes back to Jacob, who had 5. This goes back to Jacob, who had 4 wives.
What's the Hebrew
concubines? Not concubines, but Jacob. Hold on, y'all. Listen. Stop. Jacob, because I got to end this. Jacob had 4 wives. The wife he loved did not produce the children.
Okay.
The one he didn't love produced the firstborn children. And as it's supposed to be, Reuben did receive a birthright, but Reuben fouled up in raping his father's wife. So it wound up falling to the fourth son of that same mother, Judah, wind up with the blessing.
Okay, so then, real quick, I got to go. But Apostle, before I go, can I share this real quick, please?
Yeah, please hurry up because I'm 5 minutes over.
Yeah, 5 seconds. It's 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds over.
Can you share my screen, please?
Actually, I'm 5 minutes over in 50 seconds.
Right. Do you see this real quick? Anybody? Can you see this?
Hold on. Let me see. Let me get it. Yeah.
Okay, we got Genesis 16:3, right?
Yeah.
You see about Sarah?
No, I don't see it. You got to blow that up, man.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Can't read that.
I'm sorry. Right?
It looks like it cut off on TV.
Okay.
No, we can see it. I can see it. I can see it.
You get my TV's off.
Okay, so look, when it's referring to, look at this now, Hagar, right? Right. Then when we scroll down to the Hebrew, when it speaks of Hagar, excuse me, the first one is Sarah, excuse me. But when we come down to the helpmate, woman, Hagar, it says wife. The Hebrew.
Where?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Can you see what says wife?
Could be his wife. Could be his wife.
Right. So
yeah.
So it calls Hagar what?
No. Is that Hagar?
Yes.
Show me that's Hagar.
This is Hagar.
I'm looking at 5602.
Listen, so this calls her, what's this? Laisa, wife. If we go to the lexicon 802, right here. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think that's Hagar.
It is.
Not even that. Let me say something.
No.
Look.
What is that of?
Look, I'm gonna show you. Look. So right here, here's the Hebrew word. It says woman, wife, right? And it was referred to, this is talking about Hagar.
Show me. No. That's being slick, Orpheus.
Look, let's do it piece
by piece.
Let's do it piece by piece. And he took Sarah. Can you see my screen?
You keep it still like you see it. Yeah. You keep moving it.
So the first part is Sarah, correct?
And he took Sarah, his wife.
Right. So Sarah's the wife here. And
and go ahead. Of Abraham. And then it says, Hagar, and scroll up.
Look. And then Hagar, right?
Oh, no, that's still talking about Sarah.
No.
At the bottom of the page.
Word.
No.
Hagar is at the bottom of the page.
Wait, stop for a second. Just slow down, please.
Okay, bottom of the page.
Oh my God, just stop.
Don't say wife.
Oh my God, just stop for a second. And took Sarah, the wife of Abraham, right?
Right.
So it established here Sarah is the wife of Abraham, right?
Right.
Now we go to Hagar, right?
Go down. She's underneath.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Hagar, the Egyptianess, her maidservant.
No, you still. That's Hagar right there.
Stop, yo, Apostle.
All right,
why
keep going,
are you
Morpheus.
doing this?
Morpheus, keep
Brother,
going.
I'm doing it because you got your thing on Hagar now.
Right.
The Egyptian handmaid servant.
Her maidservant,
after
10 years, had dwelt Abraham in the land of Canaan, and she gave her to Abraham, her husband, to be his what? Wife.
Right.
So then Hagar was
where?
Right there.
So Hagar was his wife.
Right. That's saying what her intentions were.
Yo, what's going on?
They were not actually married.
Listen, the text says that she was to be his wife. That's what
Listen, Morpheus, according to Sarah, That's her intent,
No,
but not according to the law.
No, you're reading into it.
No. That's according to Sarah. Sarah gave her to be his wife.
Let me just read something right quick, just to clarify for everybody.
Right.
Let me just read something right.
You're doing wrong.
Yeah.
You're talking about what Sarah did, what Sarah's intent was.
Let's say. I'm asking
Morpheus.
The text says that Sarah did that.
Right.
Says Sarah. But that doesn't, because Sarah did that, it don't make her a wife.
So right. So then we're not looking
why she was cast out.
You're saying we're not looking at wife right now, right? It don't say that, right? Words don't mean words.
It means that according to Sarah, initially, she gave Hagar to her husband as a wife. But things happened, and Hagar was dispersed along with her child. They were sent away.
Yeah.
Abraham cannot send away a wife.
All right, let me just read some right quick.
It's different law.
Yeah, the book has
Abraham cannot send away his wife.
All right, so the confusion comes from the different Hebrew terms used in Genesis. I asked ChatGPT exactly what Mr. Morpheus was talking about.
It's 11 minutes over. I'm going to give y'all 5 more minutes, and that's it.
Wasn't you going to give me a time to talk, Apostle?
No, brother, I'm 11 minutes over.
I know you.
This is Sonnetta's instruction.
Okay, well, can I speak?
No, this is the last words, man. I'm sorry.
All I'm saying, let me just finish reading, bro. Let me just finish reading. It says one, Hebrew terms for relationships. Isha, that's the word Morpheus was talking about. It says literally means woman or wife. This term is sometimes used broadly for any woman in a household, including concubines. All right? You heard that?
Okay.
And then let's go to in the Genesis wording, right?
No, hold up.
Let me just say.
In Genesis 16:3, it says that Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham as a wife. Some translations render it this way. Sarai, yeah. But the Hebrew context implies, but the Hebrew context implies she was given as a secondary partner, a concubine, to bear children on Sarah's behalf. Okay. So the context even gives the explanation of what we're talking about here. So she wasn't a formal wife the way Sarah was.
Okay.
All right,
and
brother?
It does say, as Sarah said to Abraham, behold, now the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go in to my maid, and it may be that I shall obtain children by her. And Abram listened to the voice of Sarah.
That she might retain children.
Let me finish. So I'm almost finished. So key point, the initiative comes from Sarah, not God. Hagar is maid, servant, slave. Abram agrees, but God does not command this. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. If God commanded it,
let me just
it would have been different.
Let me just.
So listen, y'all. I will start this up again tomorrow. We can go ahead and go back into it. And we can talk about anything in the Bible that y'all choose to talk about. But let's do it in the same manner that we did it today. This was an exceptional show. Thanks, Morpheus. Thanks, King J. And Rock. And Asa, Matthew, Bunce. I can't remember everybody, but man, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Let's do it again tomorrow. I'll set up a show where we can discuss the Bible in and out. And everybody will get their opportunity and everybody will get the chance. I will even allow Morpheus, even though I'm 5 days ahead of him, to show where Christ lies.
I want King J back tomorrow, man.
All right. But, Morpheus, you got that?
That sounds good, brother.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a difference between Christ's lying
let me just say one thing
and the scribes lying.
That's true.
But we're going to deal with all of that.
I agree 100% with what you just said.
Apostle, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I was just saying, in the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 22, it speaks of that same story we're speaking of Abraham, and it says, you know, he having the two seeds, one being born from a born woman and all that, and it's saying the stories of an allegory. If you go and read it, it's right there.
Yeah,
Galatians chapter
what's an
4,
allegory
and
is
I
the
find that's
two,
what's happening most
brother,
times.
brother. What's an allegory in Hebrews, where it talks
Right.
about that, are the two mountains. The two mountains are an allegory
Right.
of the two women. Not that the original story was an allegory,
Right.
but the fact that two mountains are being represented is allegory. Y'all got to learn how to read the
Yeah, but it
Bible.
doesn't say that in the book. It says the two children. It speaks about the
It
children,
talks.
though. It doesn't say the mountains. The mountains is like our interpretation, which I understand. But I was just saying,
No.
most times what has happened,
The
most
mountains
of the story,
in the representation, we'll deal with that. The mountains are
yeah,
an
but I'm saying is the
allegory.
book doesn't say mountains. It says two people. It, you know, it speaks of his children. But I'm
But
just
what
saying, I
is it
understand what
speaking
you're
of the
saying.
two?
That's like
Is
the
it not
interpretation, the
talking?
story is saying. But
Is
I'm
it
just saying
not
the book
talking about
itself
the mountain? Is it not talking about a mountain? Two mountains. Answer the question.
I'm saying yes, it could be speaking of the mountains. That's what
That's
allegory is for,
allegory.
you know. It could
That's
have many
allegory.
different interpretations to it. I'm just saying.
Brother,
But most
that's
times when people
allegory.
take it literal,
Okay,
that's what
we'll deal
Jabari
with it
is be
tomorrow.
saying. Back to the title of the topic.
We'll deal with that tomorrow,
Right.
Black Bill.
Allegory
All
could
right?
also,
Talk to you tomorrow.
yeah, allegory could.
Peace.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.
Good chat. Good discussion. Talk to y'all tomorrow.